Okay, you're listening to FA Cup Game Day Live here on Talksport 2. We're live from the Hill Dickinson Stadium and delighted to hand over to our commentary team of Charlie Adam and Cameron Pope.
Thank you very much. The teams are out below us on the lush playing surface of Hill Dickinson Stadium for the first ever time in the FA Cup. Everton out in the fourth round last season as they said goodbye to Goodison. It was the third round that Sunderland fell in. These two are locked together in the middle of the Premier League table. Both sides out and clustering around the centre circle. And if you're against modern football, cover your ears, because Everton are wearing a one-off fourth shirt today. It's a purple number with pink trim. It's said to pay homage to the setting in the skyline of the city of Liverpool of this brand new stadium. Make of that what you will. Changes for both sides. Sunderland will be in their red and white shirts, black shorts and red and white socks. I'll go through the teams for you. Everton start with Pickford in goal, McCullenco, O'Brien, Tarkowski and Patterson the back four, Garner and Royal in front of them, Armstrong in attacking midfield inside of McNeil and Dibbling, and Beto is leading the line. A very youthful bench. Travers and King the backup goalkeepers, Jenna Barry and Adam Asnu, along with youngsters Braden Graham, Reece Welch, Elijah Campbell, Malik Olayiwola and Callum Bates. As for Sunderland, Robin Roos keeps his place in goal. The back four is Dennis Sirkin, Luke O'Nien, Nordi Mukiele and Trey Hume. Noah Siddiqui is back from ACON duty with DR Congo. He partners Granit Xhaka in midfield. Enzo Lefebvre in the attacking midfield line with Mundle and Adingra outside him. Mayenda will start up top. Wilson Isidore is on the bench. Patterson the backup goalkeeper, joining Neil, Ballard, Hertrauder, Brobby, Rigg, Alderete and Hjelde. My name is Cameron Pope. This is Talksport 2. We've just kicked off at Hill Dickinson Stadium and the former Everton set play coach Charlie Adam is alongside me. Welcome, Charlie.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Well, it sounds like an enticing affair, and it's going to be played to the accompaniment of 7,700 travelling Sunderland supporters who have taken over a whole corner of the stadium, far side our left. Sunderland have a throw-in, 20 yards from their own corner flag. They're kicking from right to left as we look at it in this first half. We're high up, right on halfway, looking across towards the dignitaries. And then a wall of Everton fans away to our right, as Everton, having turned over that ball, prepare for a throw-in of their own to be taken by Jake O'Brien. We think he's going to be playing at centre-back today, his natural position, having had to deputise at right-back for much of the season. And he throws long into the penalty area, bounces twice, nobody touches it in blue or red, and it's out for a goal kick. And Sunderland, well, they've been one of the surprise stories of the Premier League this season, Charlie.
No, they've been brilliant again, and we talk about they've been brilliant, but also Everton in terms of what they're going through and new stadium, and not probably signing the players that the manager had really need. But they're building. Both teams are comfortable in the Premier League, doing a good job. But coming into first FA Cup game here at the new stadium is something that they'll want to win as well. So again, because it's on record, but it's an interesting game. Both teams are going to line up the same 4-2-3-1. So match up. It'll be you against your man, and let's see who gets the best. But for Jake going back to centre back is something that he wants to play there. Feels his natural position. But over the last sort of 16 months since the manager coming in, playing right back, he's done a brilliant job for the team.
Ball hasn't left the Sunderland half yet. Macclesfield versus Crystal Palace. The plum tie of the third round is over on Talksport. There are 19 ties in all today. The draw is on Monday around Liverpool versus Barnsley. That's on Talksport. Charlie will be there. Our attention is on Merseyside here as Nordi Mukiele takes the ball on halfway for Sunderland. First time they've got into Everton territory, and they're sent straight back by the press of Dwight McNeil. And so it's with Roos in his orange goalkeeper kit, all orange, 18-yard box, and plays it out short to Mukiele. His ball into the midfield, did find Enzo Lefebvre. He was quickly put under pressure by James Garner, and it's back into the Sunderland rear guard once again. These two beginning another FA Cup campaign. the tournament that last brought Everton silverware back in 1995. It's been a long time coming, Charlie. In fact, I was reading the programme notes from David Moyes before we went on air, and he said if there's one wish he had in football, it's that Everton could have held on to their lead in the 2009 final against Chelsea. It's the sort of chance that often only comes around once in a lifetime.
No, absolutely. And again, it's something that, you know, when you, as a Scotsman, come in here, you get to understand we've got the Scottish Cup, but the FA Cup is so special. You watch it on, you know, on the TV over the years growing up, and the famous, you know, victories that are the cup finals. I've been very fortunate enough that I was part of the Liverpool, you know, squad. I was injured, but I was there on the day, and we lost. But the build up to the FA Cup final was special and different, and you know, that's the season's end goal is winning the FA Cup, and David's been so close.
Here comes Sunderland, 45 yards out at 0-0 in the FA Cup third round on Talksport 2. First touches for Romain Mundle, halfway inside the Everton half. Sunderland left flank, cuts it back into central midfield. Here's Noah Siddiqui. Further down the line towards Sirkin, into the attacking third now, and Mayenda's into the Everton penalty area, and he's got past two defenders, and he's gone down under a challenge. I thought he might have handled the ball himself. In any event, he's managed to hook it towards the corner flag, and Sunderland can keep this move going with Sirkin. 20 yards from the corner flag. First test we've seen for Everton. Seem to have passed it. There might be another wave of it coming though. Mukiele switched the ball out to the far side. Sunderland right now. Granit Xhaka. Maybe a ball into the penalty area brewing here as Trey Hume gets towards the corner of the box. Now Mukiele. Everton have 10 men behind the ball, all inside their defensive third. Ball through the line towards Mayenda. Right side of the box to the byline, cuts it back, dainty little flick into the body of a defender. It was Siddiqui with a shot, and Everton have been warned early on, 0-0.
Yeah, good positive start from Mundle. Mundle is on this left-hand side, sorry, positive for what he does. But again, opportunities for Sunderland, threading little balls through, and you know, nearly an opportunity for Sunderland to score there. But good movement at the top end of the pitch from Sunderland lads.
These two sides desperate for a win in any competition. They've only won one of their last 6, each of them. Everton's at troubled Nottingham Forest in late December. In fact, their last 2 wins were against Nottingham Forest. Haven't beaten another side since a win at Bournemouth on the 2nd of December. And it is Sunderland in possession with this game. Goalless, a ball over the top from Mukiele this time, doesn't find its man, and will roll through to a man who knows Sunderland better than most, Jordan Pickford, through the ranks at Sunderland. 35 games for the club he supported as a boy. He was with the academy from the age of 8 and grew up in nearby Washington, and he's played a long ball drilled straight down the park towards Beto, but Luke O'Nien, the defender, got the faintest of flicks on it to bring it back to roost. Goalless at Hill Dickinson Stadium.
Yeah, he's talked about Jordan. You know, when I was in the football club, Sunderland's his football club, and let's say when you come through an academy and you support that football club, it means a lot to you. And I think he is really proud of where he was born and where he is as a, you know, coming through and playing for Sunderland. So, you know, always difficult, but really special moments when you go to the stadium light, but also again when they're coming here. But you know, this Sunderland team have started the season really well. They're a good side, good energy. Mayenda at the top end of the pitch is live, and he really wants to be aggressive and good energy at the top end of the pitch. But they've got real good quality players as well that want to keep the ball and make things happen.
Given away by Nathan Patterson of Everton. It's still 0-0. We've had 6.5 minutes of this cup tie. You can see that emblazoned across 2 massive electronic scoreboards at either end of the field. Sunderland are attacking one of them. Ball given away though by Adingra. Everton, having lost that ball initially, worked hard to get it back. And now the ball is thrust downfield into the path of Merlin Royal, who couldn't control it there, the Leipzig loanee. And the bounce of the ball allowed Luke O'Nien the time to get across and get his body between man and ball. And it was back to Roofs in goal. No goals in any of the 4 12-15 kickoffs. As Sunderland start with Siddiqui. 10 yards inside his own half. His DR Congo lost their AFCON round of 16 game on Tuesday against Algeria. Started 3 of the 4 games. Okay, there's not much of a time difference with Morocco where it's been played, Charlie, but for those players who go away mid-season to the Asian Cup, to the Africa Cup of Nations, it is a battle sometimes, isn't it, to get back to a rhythm with your club?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's different because, you know, in terms of eating and sleeping and different things. Morocco's obviously a little bit different, but when the boys go away, the training's probably not as intense what you expect when you're with your own club. So getting them back up to speed feels difficult. So no, when they do come back in dribs and drabs, because they're all coming back at different types of different times of the competition, it's really hard to keep them going. But they feel like when they come back they can give it a real impact, and Siddiqui especially, who's been magnificent beside Xhaka this year for Sunderland. I've seen him a few times, good, likes to get on the ball, but again he wants to go and get it back for your team, and that probably suits Granit Xhaka, being able to have somebody beside him that goes and does that horrible side of the game and really allows him to be the ball playing midfielder.
Well, Granit Xhaka is going to take a free kick for Sunderland, a step or so inside his own half. It was conceded by Beto, shoving 09. Sunderland have already lost the ball, though. It's the young Harrison Armstrong, the 18-year-old. Goes back into his Everton defence. Not used to seeing Jake O'Brien in that central berth. He's played a ball out to his today centre-back partner, Tarkowski, who launches one downfield in the direction of Beto. Seemed that he and McNeil got in each other's way, and Sunderland have no problem clearing as Wolves take the lead against Shrewsbury. Premier League against League Two. And we've got so much football coming for you across the network today. 5 commentaries in all. Macclesfield versus Crystal Palace is over on Talksport. 3 p.m. on Talksport 2 after us. Stick around for Newcastle versus Bournemouth. With no goals in this one so far. Headline of the round so far is Nottingham Forest being knocked out on penalties last night by Wrexham. Wigan also taking the scalp of Preston in the division above them. This all Premier League affair seems to be going Sunderland's way at the moment, though. Enzo Lefebvre trying to stretch his foot onto a loose ball on the edge of the Everton penalty area. Didn't come off though after Mundle had won it back. And it's with Dwight McNeil, far side the Everton left, inside his own half, as Everton still wait for their first proper chance of this game. It really is a remarkable facility though, their new ground. It's already the 8th largest in English football. It's not quite full, there are a few blue seats creeping through. No seats in the away end though, and they're the noisy ones, the Sunderland supporters over on the far side, as their side hold the ball in the centre circle. It's 09, forward to Xhaka, captain taking no chances, happy to play it backwards. And here's Mukiele, who's won many admirers this season. Out to the right hand side for Simon Adingra. Sunderland attacking again. Xhaka in the centre circle at 0-0. Mukiele forward. Centre back sees plenty of the ball. He's a German Cup winner in his time with Leipzig. And Sunderland on the left hand side now with Mundle. Cutting in from the flank and chased by Patterson. Xhaka in the centre circle in this long and drawn out spell of possession for the away side. Wolves 2-0 up now on Shrewsbury. As Adingra collects right hand side of the Everton penalty area. Sunderland still pressing with Trey Hume with his back to goal. Now Mukiele is forced into a pass by Garner, and suddenly Enzo Lefebvre had nobody around him in red and white, has to backtrack before playing one down the line. And Siddiqui trying to turn and cross, and up against the defender McCullen. He struggled, and Everton can clear. No goals, Beto touching it on halfway. It rather bounced off him though, and Sunderland have got it back. Adingra right hand side. His pass wasn't accurate though, and out for a throw, and it goes. And the roar comes up from the Sunderland fans right in front of them. Their side attacking better in the opening 11 and a half minutes. Yeah, if
Sunderland now starting to get control of the game, and Xhaka and Siddiqui in that middle of the pitch just keeping the ball, forcing Everton back into 5-4-1, 4-5-1. Sometimes Jimmy Gardner's going back in between the two centre-backs, because Sunderland have got 5 at the top end of the pitch trying to penetrate that back line, so trying to get the same numbers there. But when that happens, when you come into that 5-4-1, ultimately outside centre-backs are key for you, Sunderland.
Throw-in's gone short. I thought there might have been a foul throw. Everton fans thought so too. Siddiqui's ball does come into the penalty area, cleared out to 09. Doesn't heed the shouts of shoot from the away support, and in fact Sunderland, they might well have heeded it actually, because they've gone all the way back to their goalkeeper, and Roof's under pressure from Beto clears upfield on his left boot. With no goals between Everton and Sunderland so far on Talksport 2. Charlie Adam alongside me, Cameron Pope. Quarter hour mark approaching as Nathan Patterson finds himself under pressure from Mundle, gets the clearance into the Sunderland man though, and that will be a throw in to Everton. Your fellow Scott Charlie, Nathan Patterson had a horrible time of it with injuries since arriving at Everton. A good run of games though, and it might just change this season now.
Yeah, he's had a good run of games, but I've seen him linked with some Spanish clubs in the week, so be interesting to see how it goes. Everton are not the biggest squad, so possibly him going and getting some game time might be beneficial for him for his career and also for the World Cup as well.
Here's a chance for Mayenda, edge of the attacking third, tries to turn and shoot, and then shoots into a body of a defender. There was a shout going up from the Sunderland fans of handball. I don't think there was anything in it really. Now we have a little monitor in front of us that I will check in a moment. That's the only check we'll have to do though. No VAR in this round of the FA Cup. It's still Sunderland though, exerting all the pressure on Everton, who are yet to have sight of Robin Roofs' goal. Here comes Tarkowski, over halfway on the right foot, into Tyler Dibbling now. Teenager up against Mundell, and he will go back, take the conservative option into his own half, as Jordan Pickford, Everton's green-clad goalkeeper, calls for calm. Short ball it is. O'Brien and Tarkowski taking their time to peruse options. James Garner has dropped back in to try and catalyse something for Everton. It's all getting a bit stagnant after 14 minutes of this game. And the home supporters are letting their feelings be known as well. Yeah. They are into the Sunderland half finally, Charlie. Yeah,
I get it, but they've got to realise how it is. The 4-4-2 mid block of Sunderland's difficult to play. So Gardner now dropping in between the two centre-backs, giving that overload to then allowing the two full-backs to come and play really high and the wingers inside. So I see it, I get it, and I understand that they want to play forward, but when there's no pressure on the ball, you've got to stay on the ball.
Garner
and then
for Everton now,
develop.
Edge of the attacking third. Out to the right hand side for Patterson. His cross is deflected. O'Nien with the header away. Drops on the edge of the penalty area. Shot into a sea of bodies. Tarkowski, I think it was. Out it goes to the edge of the attacking third. Best spell of the game for Everton so far. Diblink with his orange boots finds himself run into by Circuit. And then with Dingle going down in front of him, or Mundell I should say, it is a free kick to Sunderland and one that alleviates some of the pressure that was growing. Best spell we've seen from Everton.
Yeah, much better again, having control with the ball. Really important, Jimmy Gardner's the footballer within the team at the moment. He can get on the ball and make things happen, and he's been excellent this year. But when he gets control and he gets some calmness within the team, that's when they get good play, and they had that there. But Tarkowski stepping in and actually trying to hit a shot, actually hit Melvin Rowe in the leg, so positive from Everton.
Mukiele over halfway for Sunderland. No goals in this game. His pass is errant though, and Merlin Rowe can come forward now for Everton over halfway into Dibbling. He's got a runner outside to his right. It's Patterson, who was level with the edge of the penalty area, and then a flying challenge from Sirkin sees it out for an Everton throw, level with the edge of the box. 0-0. 16 minutes gone now in the FA Cup third round. The only goals in the 4 early kickoffs are at Molineux. Wolves leading Shrewsbury by 2-0. Wolves, the side that knocked Everton out of the Carabao Cup earlier this season. And there was some consternation among Everton supporters at David Moyes' choice of team that night. What was perceived to be a second string came up against the struggling Wolves side, and out of a cup they've always struggled in. They've had better luck, the 5-time winners in the FA Cup, but they've conceded a free kick on the edge of the Sunderland penalty area. It was Armstrong on Sirkin, and despite the threat that Everton is starting to offer, Sunderland seem to be dealing with it just fine.
Yeah, the shape's good, the distances, backline, the midfield strikers are good at Sunderland, so it's hard to play through, and then just allowing Everton forcing balls in there, and Harrison Armstrong makes a foul that he didn't need to make. But again, talking about Armstrong, he's a good young player that's went on loan to Preston at the start of the season. Started the season well, and obviously brought him back for these few games while they see what happens with the lads coming back from AFCON and getting lads back to injury. But I think the manager's talking about maybe sending them back there, which will be good news for Preston trying to make promotion.
Yes, recalled in the thick of things in the festive period, as Siddiqui just about keeps the ball in play down below us inside the Sunderland half. Everton fans thought it had gone out. Xhaka plays a horrible ball across his defence, and now McNeil thought he could have been away. Mukiele got in there to steer it back to Robin Roos, who does clear under some pressure, and now here come Everton again. Rowe letting the ball bounce and then trying a shot, a misguided one, never really looked like going anywhere near the target, and he shanked it 25 yards wide. So a hairy moment for Granit Xhaka. Doesn't normally put a foot wrong. His pass was a poor one, presented the opportunity to Everton. Defence has coped with it though, and it's goalless after 18 minutes.
Yeah, Melon Rowe actually could have stepped with the ball and had a shot, but he felt like he had to shoot from like 30 odd yards. But good pressure there from Dwight McNeil, putting Mukiele under pressure, nearly putting the goalkeeper to make a mistake, and then they break into a roll. But should have done better with his sort of quality that he has.
Goalless, those the words of Charlie Adam, a former League Cup winner with Liverpool. As Robin Roos again under pressure, this time from Harrison Armstrong, clears out on halfway over the touchline for an Everton throw. David Moyes in his long jacket in Everton colours out on the corner of his technical area as Garner slips a pass into the feet of Armstrong. Everton starting to grow back into this game, and their fans are responding in voice away to our left. It's the sort of ground where the sound seems to reverberate around all four sides. There's a big glass wall or a finish to the stand away to the end of the ground that Everton are defending in this first half, with views over Bramley Moor up towards the city. As Everton start again with O'Brien at centre-back. Here is Garner, again dropping deep across his own half of the field to Tarkowski. Over halfway now for Everton. No goals in this game on Talksport 2. Garner once more, but this time in Sunderland territory. Everybody in the red and white shirt happy to sit behind the ball for the moment, as McNeil has come further and further back.
Yeah, but it's okay because you got Mikalenko really high and Harrison Armstrong inside that, so that allows you to bring players back into it's good control from Everton at the moment, getting some passes in, building momentum, waiting for the gaps to open up. But the switch to player key against the 4-4-2, and then they need runs from inside the pitch in terms of the pocket from Devlin if he's in there, or Harrison Armstrong if Dwight McNeil's dropped out. It's important that they run to stretch that back line, and then the spaces will appear for your footballers, Gardner, to get on the ball to play forward.
Yes, they didn't flap Everton after a less than stellar start to this game. Sunderland with the one and only chance we've had, really. It was Simon Adingra flicking into the path of Noah Siddiqui, who couldn't get a proper shot away as he was crowded out by defenders. And then one wayward effort from the boot of Merlin Royal just a few minutes ago. Goalless in the FA Cup third round on Talksport 2. Cameron Pope and Charlie Adam, your commentary team. Newcastle versus Bournemouth follows later. Also have commentary on Talksport of Tottenham versus Aston Villa from 5:45. It's Charlton versus Chelsea from 8, as Sunderland tried to play out from the back, and then there was a spin from Merlin Royal down to ground as he got himself between man and ball and wins the free kick. He was right under the nose of referee John Brooks, and Everton have a set play just on the edge of the centre circle, the Sunderland half of the field. And this is your domain, Charlie. Yeah,
looking to get the big guys up, O'Brien and Tarkowski, Beto there. Maybe look to work something here, get it wide and put it into the box. But good opportunity for Roll there, picking up second balls. It's really important in games that you need to pick second balls up to keep dominating the game, and he did that well there.
So the free kick all set. Everton with players clustered in that Sunderland high line outside the penalty area. Into the thicket it goes, drops in the 18-yard box. Oh, and a shot over the bar, and that was a chance. Harrison Armstrong, he runs his hand through his hair, fell right onto his boot in the 18-yard box, and then he swung at goal, and for a moment Hill Dickinson Stadium held its collective breath. Off target it was though, out for a goal kick. Everton starting to exhibit more threat. It is 0-0.
Yeah, it was good again. Headed out, second ball from Harrison Armstrong. I think he's got to do better with it. It's he's actually free on the edge of the box, and he shoots wide. But it's good picking up that second ball, being alive for the knockdown.
Second for Sunderland, halfway inside his own half. Xhaka coming forward now, over halfway with his pass. It hits an Everton leg though. Patterson will clear it to halfway, and here's Royal, takes one defender out of the equation. He skipped away from Siddiqui, ended up on the turf once again, and seeing no advantage, it's good refereeing there from John Brooks. We've gone back to the free kick.
Again, good play from from Roll, picking up that second ball. That's 3 or 4 now Everton have picked up, getting fouls, getting that opportunity now to be able to get the ball forward, get it into the box, and let's see what the Sunderland defence can do, because the times they've gone forward, they've not been able to deal with that.
Home sections of the crowd raising the volume. Haven't seen much of Merlin Roll this season at Everton. Out for 6 weeks he was, the Leipzig loanee, with a hernia operation. Yet to see regular action. Ball comes forward from Garner. Mirror image of the last free kick into the penalty area. Headed clear, and this time Sunderland come away with the second ball. Adingra, far side the Black Cats right, runs it out of play over halfway. Hence the jeers from the home crowd as Leicester take the lead away at Cheltenham. Still no goals between Macclesfield and Crystal Palace, and still no goals here on Merseyside between Everton and Sunderland, as Tarkowski takes a fancy but rather unnecessary spin inside his own half before passing back towards Garner, who runs it up towards halfway now and into the feet of McCullincup, or McNeil I should say actually it is. It's, I tell you, it rivals the Stadium of Light, this ground, Charlie, for how high the press box is. I'm going to say these two are probably the highest in the Premier League.
Yeah, no, they've built it. It's a spectacular stadium, and something that these Evertonians are proud of, that they can call this their home. Goodison was obviously a little, much different, but a lot of history there, and they want to build their own history here in this stadium.
Paul Patterson's ball up towards the front line. Beto, he sees it glance off his head though into the penalty area, and Mukiele can clear without much pressure on him. Only a half chance. Everton starting to get the ball into the attacking reaches a little bit more than they were doing. We've had 24 minutes now, and in the FA Cup third round it remains goalless at Hill Dickinson Stadium, as O'Brien walks it out of defence towards Garner. Just inside his own half, he plays it into Patterson, having to move back into his defence because Mundell is chasing him, and the ball collected by Jordan Pickford once again.
But the thing is, Everton are getting control because of putting Jimmy Gardner in between the two centre-backs and playing against that 3-2. Two full-backs are coming really high, and the two players inside the pitch.
Aerial ball won by Everton, and Armstrong plays it forward to the left-hand side. Sunderland want the game to stop, and it will stop as well. They've got a player down just inside their own half. The referee is pointing to his forehead. He's saying it's a head injury. It's Sirkin who's down. And Everton, well, they look to be away there because Armstrong had picked it up from Röhrl, who'd won the header initially, and then it was into the path of McNeil, who was away down the left-hand side into a good crossing position, and just before it reached him, the whistle sounded, hence the booing emanating from three sides of Hill Dickinson Stadium.
Yeah, you've made the decision. Sirkin, obviously, with the head nod, and the referee, unfortunately, can't make that decision. He can't risk that opportunities that he might have a problem, and that's why he stopped the play. But it was a promising attack there from Everton. But just go back to what I'm trying to say earlier, is that because they've got the three against the two at the top end, but it's allowing Tarkowski and O'Brien to actually step on the outsides of the two strikers to then commit in front of them, where Patterson and Mikalenko really high and the two wingers inside. So they've got the overload on that side of on either side of the pitch. So if they switch it quickly, then they know they've got the overload on the other side. So again, it's good play from Everton, being patient in that build-up. And again, when you've got somebody like Garner who's good quality on the ball, could pass the ball with purpose and with real quality, it can actually take 2 or 3 players out of what they're trying to do with just one pass. So good play from Everton so far, and they need to be patient what they're trying to do.
0-0, 26 gone. Sirkin is up but is waiting to come back on from halfway. Everton have restarted with a drop ball about 30 yards from the Sunderland byline, and it's Garner now. Looked like he was shaping for a shot for a moment. Plays it across ways. Tarkowski, 35 yards out, crossing towards the back post. Goalkeeper was favourite for it. Everton fans were claiming for a push, and I think there's been a clash of heads on the edge of the 6-yard box here. It might have been friendly fire as well. Beto was involved, and credit to the Sunderland defenders as well, because O'Nien and Mukiele were quickly waving to the referee, and there's a touch of concern here. Physios have been waved on very quickly because in what looked like an innocuous clash of heads, it's Harrison Armstrong who's ended up on the deck, and he is sitting up now, so a good sign. But it's one of those horrible, it's a sickening moment, Charlie. You never want to see it, and the reaction from those Sunderland players notably said something might have been quite wrong there. And so the fact that the young Everton midfielder is up and looks to be talking is a good sign. 0-0, 27 gone.
Yeah, I think it's a big clash of heads, but it looks like he's got a bit of a cut in the back of his head. So no, it's something you've got to be wary of and look at. And let's say that Adam is the physio there, and he's quick off the mark. But going back to the Sirkin one, it's a head knocking at the moment. We have to stop the game as quick as we can. But he looks okay, Harrison Armstrong.
Well, football's come a long way in the way it deals with head injuries. There are concussion substitutions in the FA Cup, so if you have one player go off for a concussion-related injury, you can make an extra sub, as can the other team to even it up. There's no suggestion that Armstrong won't be able to carry on, though. He's been walked to the far side of the field, the side the dugouts are not on. And it will be Sunderland's turn this time to start with a drop ball. Some scattered boos still from home supporters. But the referee left with no choice on either occasion, as Sunderland playing 11 versus 10 momentarily start again with 09 up towards halfway as Everton fans raise the volume dial once again. With half an hour approaching, Shrewsbury have got one back away at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Still Macclesfield 0, Crystal Palace 0 over on Talksport. Goalless as it is here, as Mundell steps away into the middle third, away from the Everton goal to pick up Xhaka, who's got 3 Everton shirts, those navy shirts in front of him. Squares it out to the right-hand side for Hume, down the line towards Lefay at the edge of the box. And out to Adingra now. Edge of the attacking third, has to play it away towards Hume again. Everton coping with the pressure put against them. Xhaka, 25 yards out into the penalty area. Quick 1-2 to set away Mundell by Mayenda, and the second run was covered well by Jake O'Brien, and out on the far side for a Sunderland throw with no goals in this game. Yeah, good little 1-2 there, link up and putting Mikalenko under pressure. But again, Sunderland now starting to grow back in, getting up the pitch, and the game's been both halves really. Both have had little spells here and there, and Sunderland got the opportunity now to throw it in the box. Long throws are back in fashion. Are we expecting one here? Far side the Sunderland right in front of their away supporters, 10 yards from the corner flag. In it comes deep towards the penalty spot. It's allowed to bounce, drops, now back to goal, the Sunderland attack, back to Lefay. Oh, what a brilliant goal. Enzo Lefay with a stunner. Corner of the area, bent it around Jordan Pickford, and 7,700 Sunderland fans celebrating the corner. Yeah, it's a poor goal from Everton to lose. Long ball, long throw into the box. Millen Rowles actually got to deal with it. He doesn't deal with it well enough. He flicks his leg at it, and now Jordan Pickford's gone mad at Tarkowski there. I think somebody turns their back on it, but no, not good enough. Poor defending from Everton. You've got to deal with the first ball, go and attack it. And obviously the setup's not right. Tarkowski now talking to Beto that they've not got the setup right, so really disappointing from Everton's point of view. Well, Everton are standing around, hands on hips now. The inquest is beginning, but take nothing away from Enzo Lefay. It is some finish. He comes into it on the edge of the penalty area, wraps his boot around it, and it goes from one side of the box to the other. Pickford was a passenger for that one. And then the net ripple followed by the roar from the away end. Sunderland have been the better side in this opening half an hour, and they lead by an Enzo Lefay goal to nil. A circus act though from the Everton defence, and the way it was allowed to pass through to bounce from the long throw in, and Enzo Lefay with a goal to give Sunderland the lead after 32 minutes. And now it all changes for Everton. We were starting to see a better side to them, Charlie. Now they've got a lead to go and chip away at. Yeah, absolutely. Now they've got to really come and show what they're made of. But it's similar to the actual Everton one. Everton had a long throw and it bounced straight through out to the pitch. But this one that Everton never dealt with it, and it dropped to Lefay, and it's a wonderful finish with his right foot and just bent it past Jordan Pickford. Just gets a nice little nudge into his path from Elietha Mayenda, and set him away. And Sunderland, well, they are raising the roof with noise now. They've got a big corner chunk of the lower tier, and then their stretch of the upper tier. It goes round from, well, halfway inside the Everton half on one side, right around the goal, near towards where Charlie and I are sat on the press gantry. So Everton 0, Sunderland 1 in the FA Cup third round, as Everton look to avoid leaving the FA Cup at the first hurdle, as they did in lacklustre circumstances against Wolves earlier in the season. Second string going down at Molineux, having got past Mansfield in that first round game. And so each time they come up against Premier League opposition in the Cup, it's been a poor start. And can the difference be this time that they build on it and turn it around? They trail. David Moyes, hands on hips, looking back towards his coaching team from his technical area down below us. Régis Lebris, with his white trainers and black and red Sunderland tracksuit, stands arms folded, no doubt happy with what he is seeing, as Everton go back to Pitford trailing 1-0. Foot on it, rolls it between his yellow boots. First signs of a press from Xhaka, and so a left-footed ball out from the Everton goalkeeper. Up towards McCullen Cohen halfway, hits a Sunderland head, that of a Dingra, and Everton have the throw-in.
Yeah, Sunderland will be very happy in terms of where they're at and what they've done. You know, Everton, they started the game really well, Sunderland. Everton come into it, and Sunderland are back into it and obviously scored the goal there, but it's disappointing from Everton in terms of how they are, knowing David that set plays are massive for him in terms of defensive set plays and organisation. To lose a goal there will be disappointing. Structure wasn't probably right in terms of where they were and certain people, but when it drops the middle and roll, he's got to deal with the situation better and take nothing away from Lefay. It's a brilliant finish.
Sunderland leading, and they are holding possession just inside their own territory with Sirkin, using Mundell ahead of him. Chased all the way by Patterson. Now this is Xhaka, drops a shoulder, out to the flank for Sirkin again. Down the Sunderland left, looking for Siddiqui. Couldn't find him though. And Patterson can see that ball back to Jordan Pickford, by far the busier of the two goalkeepers. We are 11 minutes out from half-time as McNeil chases along an errant ball down the Everton left, in vain. Sunderland with a throw and with the lead. I'll take you for the scores in the third round of the FA Cup. Cheltenham trailing Leicester by a goal to nil. That's League Two against Championship. Goalless between Macclesfield of the National League North and the holders Crystal Palace, while Wolves lead Shrewsbury by 2-1. Sunderland getting forward again with Sirkin, gets a shove down to ground. Again the referee waits to see if there's an advantage. None is forthcoming. Garner conceding the free kick then, and it will be a set play to the away side. Edge of the attacking third, about 5 stripes of the grass from goal. Left of centre, a chance to bend one in and see if they can extend their lead.
Now, I didn't think it was a foul from Gardner there, but the referee gives it now opportunity for Lefay and Xhaka to go and put it to an area where, you know, Mundell and Mukiel can go and attack it.
So Lefay and Xhaka, the duo standing over it, 2 in the wall for Everton. Everybody else lined up on the edge of the Everton penalty area. Smattering of red and white shirts in the pocket, waiting for a second ball. Lefay, right-footed, curls it in. Defensive header clear. Picked up in the 18-yard box by McNeil and fired back in at goal and safely into the hands of goalkeeper. Lefay hit it from a mile out. A good 30 yards from goal as the crow flies, but he smashed it straight down the middle, and that time it was an easy gather for Jordan Pickford. So no double delight for Enzo Lefay. His side have a 1-goal advantage in this game. Sunderland come forward again on the hunt. Mayenda down the right-hand channel, locking into battle with the defender, and it was well seen back to the goalkeeper there by Tarkowski, who looked the favourite, used his frame, and Pickford can alleviate some of the pressure for Everton now. 36 gone on the stadium clocks. Through the midfield the ball comes, looking for Merlin Röhl, tight to the right-hand touchline, side down he was by Siddiqui. No free kick though, just an Everton throw-in that will be left for James Garner. Goes backwards and towards halfway again. It's Tarkowski into Garner once more with the white boots with golden flecks. Back to the orange boots of Tarkowski again, holding the ball inside their own half at the moment. Everton 1-0 down they are.
Yeah, got to play forward, try and play a little bit forward, a little bit quicker. It's I know they've got control with the ball, but they've not really done it. Oh, good pass.
McNeil, what a ball that is, through the defence of McCullen Coe, shooting across goal, and it doesn't get the touch it needs. It's out for a goal kick. Everton fans are up in arms there. They and McCullen Coe thought that should have been a corner, but that's one of the best moves we've seen from Everton. Lovely little ball through the middle. McCullen Coe receiving from McNeil, saw himself away, shot across the goal of Roos, who doesn't get a touch in the end, and it's about a yard wide of the far post.
Yeah, it's good play from McNeil, stepping in, driving with the ball, but if it was Mikalenko's, you'd rather have somebody else in that position, because scoring goals is probably not one of his fortes. But it was good play by Dwight McNeil. Good driving run.
1-0 Sunderland lead. An aerial ball in the centre circle is won by Röhrl. Forward to McNeil now. Socks roll down. Out to the left-hand side for McCollincourt. His pass took a deflection. Still finds Merlin Röhrl, who tries a give and go down that far side Everton left flank, but the defence is too strong. And Trey Hume could pick it up for Sunderland. Out for a throw-in to the away side. Regis Labrisse's team leading this one through an Enzo Lefebvre goal after some poor Everton defending, failing to clear a long throw-in. A cracking goal it was. We are 7 minutes out from half-time in the FA Cup third round on Talksport 2. This one of 5 live commentaries across the Talksport network today. As Everton deal with the defensive ball, it's, I say deal with it, wasn't the best ball back to Jordan Pickford from Jake O'Brien. He had to come well out of his goal to stop it from going for a corner. Did get there comfortably in time. Mukiele winning an aerial ball back for Sunderland centre circle. Out to the left it comes now for Sirkin. He'll go back into his own defence. Beto trying to cut off the passing routes. And no trouble for Mukiele to whip it out to the right-hand side. Over halfway for Adingra. Has to turn and spin on the ball to get it away from McNeil. Ripple of applause from the away supporters. Seem to have calmed down a little bit now. And they were bouncing following that Enzo Lefebvre goal. Is there another one building here? Lefebvre in a central berth, whipping it to the right-hand side. Adingra wanted it quicker though, and by the time he'd received it, the tackle was upon him from Ghana.
Yeah, Granit Xhaka now starting to orchestrate everything in terms of looking to link that play with the two centre-backs of Sunderland. He's the bounce man, he's the link, and then that Mayenda and Adingra at the top end of the pitch, they're the ones that want to threaten him behind. So Sunderland now starting to really build a little bit of confidence from the goal and starting to take control of this game. But for Everton, it's been scrappy for the last 5 minutes in terms of turnover of the ball.
And here comes Mundell for Sunderland, crossing into the shins of Patterson. That'll be a corner, signalled by the referee. Down near side the Sunderland left it will be. 1-0 the Black Cats lead. Enzo Lefebvre, the scorer, will be one of the options in the centre. In fact, I think he's coming over to take the corner. Yes, he is. So it will be Lefebvre to whip this one in, see if he can turn provider. Fancies this on the right foot. Arm now raised with a smattering of red and white jerseys to aim for among the dark blue of Everton in that special kit today. Whipped in a lofted ball into the 18-yard box. Header from O'Nien. Defensive header just over the Everton bar. And, it was Vitaly Mikolenko, who's not the tallest man on the field. And he arced that one awkwardly back towards his own goalposts. Yeah, and it just avoids the crossbar and out for a corner.
It's a brilliant ball from Lefebvre. Driven ball out to O'Nien at the edge of the box. But it was going wide if he never got enough onto it, Mikolenko. But good improvisation from Sunderland. Now Xhaka is trying to in-swing up.
Corner from the other side, low flat delivery, McCollincourt away, this time with a header, over a kick attempt, saved by Pickford, scrambled off the line. Oh, what a chance that was. And just for a moment, it looked as if Sunderland had got themselves a second goal. In remarkable circumstances, Pickford saving low to his left, he had to get down and claw it away, and then the defence did their work in front of him. As Mundell is the target for a long ball down the park. That one will outrun him though, and Patterson will have the ball with the throw-in, and Everton have been fired another warning shot. Nordi Mukiele though.
What an effort. Unbelievable overhead kick from Nordi Mukiele. What unbelievable play from him, and a great save from Jordan Pickford. You wouldn't expect that from your centre-back, would you?
I tell you what, he gets up really high for it as well. If I'm going to take a few marks off, it's going to be the style, because it does clip his shin pad. He slightly shinned it, but the way his body arced there, he was absolutely meaning to go for goal. And Pickford,
so what, you giving
a good save.
7?
Oh, 7.5?
7.5.
If it doesn't go in, it can't be any higher than a 9, can it? And ultimately,
if that went in, it was 10, definitely.
It is 1-0 at the moment for Sunderland. Edging this contest, Enzo Lefebvre's goal. Everton, who historically have done so well in this competition, finalists in 2009, winners 5 times before that, one of the most successful in this tournament, but so long now without a major trophy, going back to the 90s, and they're defending again here. Forward comes Trey Hume, right-footed shot, cannons off Mikolenko, and out on the far side for a Sunderland throw-in. And at the moment, Charlie Adam, it's all Sunderland.
Yeah, Everton are too easy to play against. People are not getting up to the ball quick enough, dribbling, not getting up to the ball, just standing off and allowing Sunderland to play around you, and they're picking up spaces in behind that midfield.
Meander holding the ball up 18-yard box, tried to get an out ball quickly into Lefay, couldn't reach him. Everton's clearance is poor though again, they've given it away cheaply, and here's Mundell 35 yards out, going for the shot on the right foot. Good save, Pickford, because that was destined for the top corner. And Jordan Pickford turns around, and as we've seen so many times from the England stopper, gives an earful to his defence. That shot allowed to come in, and it was a dangerous one. And the Everton number one palming it away for another Sunderland corner. Yeah,
it's a poor pass from Harrison Armstrong. Nick's in there, gets it, but Mundell goes by, passing, and then has a great strike, and it's a good save from Pickford. But Sunderland are realising where the space is. The space is when the jump from the midfielders, that's where the space is, and the pass is back inside, and now they're starting to get a couple of chances off the back of that.
And Jordan Pickford just went over to Merlin Röhrl and had a word in the ear of his midfielder. Defending this corner, it's taken long and out of the box towards Hume. Central, moving it to O'Nien. Right-footed curling effort into the penalty area. Everton win the first ball. Second ball is Dibbling's on the edge of the box. And now maybe there's a break-up. Everton trailing as Macclesfield take the lead against Crystal Palace. Macclesfield of the 6th tier lead on Talksport at Moss Rose against the FA Cup holders. Everton unable to get this break. McCollinco has turned back towards his goalkeeper, but well, the beginnings of a massive FA Cup headline unfolding in Cheshire.
Yeah, it's only 43 minutes gone, so let's not go too far ahead. But it's a brilliant start for John and his team. He's done a good job in terms of since he's taken over. But you know, they'll be delighted if they can get to half time. Like you said, talking about the owner was saying, let's get to half time. If we get there 0-0, then we've got a chance. So see what happens. But no, real positive start from Macclesfield.
Well, they're going one better. Everton free kick taken quickly on halfway to set McNeil off down the left flank as we enter the final minutes of the first 45. A 45-minute period that has overwhelmingly favoured Sunderland. But if Everton can get one now, it might just be level as they return to the sheds for half-time, and this game might just change. All sorts of Everton bodies assembled in the penalty area, shaping up to be a long throw, taken level at the edge of the box, up towards O'Brien, got ahead on it, cleared away by Trey Hume, back in by Garner, 18-yard box, scramble for the ball, and it's won by Mundell. And just when it looked like there might be red and white shirts getting away on halfway, the defensive body of Patterson comes across and steers it back to Pickford, who's gone route one. Good pass, and a poor touch though from Dibbling. Corner of the area, got it on his instep, cannoned away from him, and despite the best efforts of Merlin Röhrl to win it back, it's a free kick that's gone against him. And Sunderland will have it on the edge of their own box as we enter 3 minutes of added time. 1-0 Sunderland lead going into them as Leicester get a second away at League Two strugglers Cheltenham. 2-0 to the Foxes in that game. Wolves leading 3-1 against Shrewsbury, and as we just covered, Macclesfield are 1-0 up on Crystal Palace. And a moment of calm has descended over Hill Dickinson. A lot of Everton fans are heading to the refreshment kiosks. I've been told they're very good at Everton's new home. Used to get a good scouse from the kiosks at Goodison, didn't you? So a lot to follow as Roos takes it long downfield into the Everton half, where Hume will take it, right foot, first time ball, evades Xhaka, who slips, and now Everton might be away. Covering defenders are there. Siddiqui in with a challenge on Armstrong. That's going to be a free kick, and maybe the first yellow card of the cup tie, and it is a yellow card for Noah Siddiqui. And he can't have any complaints, really.
No, it's a foul. Harrison Armstrong trying to break away, and he brings him down. But the hardest thing for David is that he's got nobody on the bench really that can make a change. He's got a lot of young players, and you know, maybe this is the moment where you have to put one of them on or that. But for me, Tyler Dibbins, he's not gave enough to the game and give enough for the team with the ball and also without the ball.
Well, here he is on the ball, corner of the area, crosses blocked by Sirkin, drops towards McCollinco, slammed it at goal. Dead central he was, 20 yards out. The Ukrainian lets rip it, head straight over the bar though. It was one of those that always looked like it was rising, and there was no touch needed from Roos in the end. So it clears the bar without too much discomfort for Sunderland, and scant little for Everton to be happy with from this first half. They're trailing with 1 minute of 3 added remaining by 1-0.
Yeah, I think like I said, Sunderland are the team that look like they're going to score with the quality of what they've got and what they've shown. The big chances, the big moments have come for Sunderland. So real disappointment for Everton with what they did. They started the game after that initial spell and had some chances, but not big chances. But
now he's lost it in a through ball, just evades Beto there. And just as you were speaking, Charlie, the pressure on the Sunderland defence was growing and growing, and then it's the poor ball out from the back that Royal pounces on, and then he has half a second to play it into the path of Beto. He almost gets it right there. If he had, it might well have been 1-1 with the one-on-one.
Yeah, again, it was that he wins the ball, but it was that final little pass. It should have, weight of pass was not there from Merlin Rowe, but it was a good play, good second ball again, winning that second ball, but that final pass is key to what Everton did there, and Beto just couldn't get on the end of it.
Right at the end of 3 added minutes. Ball is airborne, no whistle just yet from John Brooks. Tarkowski winning his defensive header and serves to send it back all the way to Pickford. No chance for him on the goal, the only goal we've seen in this first 45 minutes in the FA Cup. Going up towards Beto, still playing on. Header from Mundell back into defensive reaches for Sunderland, and then O'Nien slams it clear from the edge of his own penalty area. And that will be the final act of a first half that's gone in Sunderland's favour. Some booing coming from Everton supporters, not much of it though. They've had a couple of moments, nothing more though of promise. A goal from Enzo Lefebvre, well taken, curling one from the edge of the Everton penalty area after the home defence failed to deal with a long throw-in from the far side. And they haven't been able to get back into the game. There's been very little chance to do so. And so Enzo Lefebvre atoning for his slip-up in the Premier League game in midweek. His Panenka penalty missed when Sunderland had the chance to get back into it away at Brentford. Away at Everton, they are leading by 1-0 at half-time.
Thank you, Cameron. Yeah, some frustration from Everton fans there, and understandably so. I mean, watching that first half, Charlie, just Sunderland continuing, aren't they, to just show that they can mix it consistently with the big boys, and with them 16 points clear of relegation, that goal from Enzo Lefebvre must be giving them some confidence, particularly heading into that second half, that they can really start a cup run.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, they've done well this year, and they've had some big results. Sunderland, beating Chelsea away from home is obviously a big result. Beating Newcastle, so again, there's confidence in it. You can see that in the team. The confidence as the game grew on, the more confident they got, the opportunities they had, and they've had the best chances in the game. But when Everton do have control of the ball and they do pass it and they try and get the outside centre backs to be able to step on, that's where they're getting joy and success. So they need to keep doing that to get the fullbacks in the higher positions to then get the ball in the box. But the Sunderland have really been showing good quality. Xhaka, Adingri on that side, 1v1 Mikalenko, Sadiki winning the ball back, but my end at the top end of the pitch, always threatening the back line. So the back four of Everton have never had a time to breathe or relax, because that three at the top end of the pitch are always trying to penetrate and look forward. But Sunderland have been very, very good, and delighted with that first 45 as an away performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got to talk about the goal that separates them. Enzo Lefebvre, stunning finish, a bit of a mixture as well with the sort of old school of the set piece. We're talking about that a lot this season, causing troubles. And as Cameron said just before he handed over there, a bit of redemption after that Panenka penalty against Brentford, made himself look like a little bit of a Burke, but he's the hero at the minute.
Oh yeah, it's a wonderful finish. It's real quality. Long throw, from Everton's point of view, poor defending, setup was not right. Merlin Rowe's got to deal with it better, and then when it drops to Lefebvre, just caresses it into the left hand side of Jordan Pickford, and Sunderland deserve to be 1-0 up. I think overall they've been the best team, and they've shown real intent to score goals, and yeah, it was a brilliant finish, and it sent the Sunderland fans wild over in the far corner. Absolutely.
Now, when I think about Everton, they've got Michael Keane, Jack Grealish suspended, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall who's out with an injury. I look at their bench, Charlie. It doesn't fill me with confidence that something dramatic's going to change. So really, Moyes is surely going to be looking at the players that he's picked to start the game and say they need to put their ideas up a little bit.
Yeah, I think he needs to get more. I think he'll be saying to people like Devlin and Dwight McNeil, we need more from you with and without the ball. Real more intensity in terms of going and pressing. And Dwight McNeil's playing too deep at times. He could be higher. and Diblin needs to be more aggressive when he's pressing, and not had enough of the ball and not demanding enough of the ball from him. So like you say, David will be saying, well, you've got 10-15 minutes or we'll make changes, and you might have to throw the young lads on and give them an opportunity to see what they've got. Tino Barry's on the bench, but Braden Graham scored a lot of goals in the under-21, so maybe he'll get the opportunity today, and he might be something that they've not seen. So these are the moments that you have to just chuck one of the young players in and see where they are. But it's been poor from Everton in spells of the game, but they've not really created too much.
Brilliant stuff, Charlie. Thank you very much. Go grab yourself a Bovril half-time beverage. We'll speak to you in a moment. It's 1-1. It's 1-0 to Sunderland. Enzo Lafay's goal separates them at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Elsewhere in the early kickoffs, Leicester beating Cheltenham Town 2-0 away. Wolves, strugglers in the Premier League, looking like they're going to be going down, are beating Shrewsbury Town 3-1. A couple of goals from Jorgen Strand Larsen there. But the big news in the early kickoffs, we saw a bit of an upset last night with Wrexham beating Forest, but Macclesfield FC, liquidated in 2020, back in the Football League, are currently 1-0 up against FA Cup holders Crystal Palace. It's half-time there in Cheshire. Paul Dawson with the biggest goal, I would imagine, of his career so far. That one's live over on Talksport. We'll be bringing you updates throughout the second half. But you're listening to FA Cup Game Day Live here on Talksport 2. Next up, we'll pick the bones out of that first half and look ahead to our third round fixture here on Talksport 2 between Newcastle and Bournemouth.
It's frothy football, man. FA Cup Game Day on Talksport 2.
Hey Sainsbury's, have you got anything to help my money go further?
Well, if you want to make some big savings, make sure to use Nectar Prices and your Nectar Prices at Sainsbury's. Together, they can save you over £450 a year on your food shop.
Bring it on.
Download the Nectar app and tap into great savings. Sainsbury's. Good food for all of us. 18 plus Nectar app required. For full terms, see help.sainsburys.co.uk/help/Nectar prices.
People are tuning into radio more than ever. Advertise here and get your message heard by up to 6.5 million switched on listeners every week. Email radio@news.co.uk.
Hi, just leaving work now. Sorry it's a bit loud. Basically, so I was thinking we could get Mackey's tonight. Had a Big Mac on my mind all day, and delivery fee on the app is now from 99p. So, you in? Of course you are. Ha, love you. Bye.
Exclusively on the McDonald's app. 18 plus. Service fee and small order fee may apply. Participating restaurants. Serving times and T's and C's apply.
The moment they walk down the aisle, you want to see it all and feel ready. Our advanced eye test checks both your eyesight and eye health, so you feel confident in life's important moments. It includes a UV protection and dry eye assessment, plus an OCT scan for early detection of conditions like glaucoma. Book your advanced eye test today. Vision Express. Step out with confidence. T&Cs apply. Upgrade your free NHS PRSI medical card eye test for a nominal fee.
It's the last chance to get yourself a ticket for tonight's Lotto draw.
It could be you.
Lotto from the National Lottery. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Get as much cash as you can get your hands on and meet me at the Halsey.
Marty Supreme is nominated for 3 Golden Globes, including Best Motion Picture, Best Screenplay, and Best Actor Timothée Chalamet.
It's every man for himself where I come from.
It's the best film of the year. 5 stars, The Telegraph. A masterpiece, IndieWire. 5 stars, The Guardian, Times, and Empire.
I don't think you understand the stakes here.
Timothée Chalamet and Gwyneth Paltrow.
What do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work out?
It doesn't even enter my consciousness.
Maybe it should.
Marty Supreme. Cinemas everywhere now.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be inside a bowl of Heinz soup? Floating on a blanket of thick tomatoey goodness. The aromas tickling your nostrils. A crispy little human crouton drifting off, getting lost in the soup. Bathe in comfort. It has to be Heinz.
The road to the FA Cup on Talksport and Talksport 2.
What a stunning strike!
Monday night
Liverpool versus Barnsley.
on Talksport.
Fires in a wonderful goal!
Coverage from 7. Kickoff 7:45.
The road to the FA Cup on Talksport and Talksport 2.
Pleasure yourself with football.
FA Cup Game Day
On Talksport 2.
On the Talksport network, this extended FA Cup third round weekend. We just love the competition here. We always will on Talksport.
Lost the penalty out for Willock and finished by Johan Ritter inside the 6-yard area.
And it's Brooks heading it in the goalkeeper. It's in. They've squeezed it in. David Brooks makes it count.
And there is nothing ever certain in the FA Cup.
You're listening to FA Cup Game Day Live here on Talksport 2, where at half-time it's Everton 0, Sunderland 1. We'll have a full second-half commentary to bring you, but following us at 3 o'clock, we'll bring you another all-Premier League affair as Newcastle face Bournemouth at St James's Park. Adam Bridge will be alongside the former Sunderland defender Mickey Gray. They join us now to tell us a bit about what to expect from today's game. Mickey, let me start with you, because obviously it's half-time for your beloved Sunderland. And tell you what, I'm thinking, why aren't you on that game? What are you doing the Newcastle Bournemouth for?
Well, I just couldn't stay away from Adam that long. You know, we have this relationship where, you know, if it goes over 3 days, we have to be put together. So that's why I've been dragged up north.
I'm blushing now.
I know, I've teed you up well there. I've teed you up brilliantly. I mean, Adam, Newcastle, Bournemouth, two teams for me, anyway. I look at this, they must be thinking about the FA Cup and thinking this is where we can achieve something special. Newcastle have won the EFL Cup last year, but then as well, you've got Bournemouth, who I think are sort of looking for a bit of a crowning moment under Andoni Iraola and just the consistent success they've had over years.
Yeah, I think a season's not gone by since 1955 when Newcastle haven't been dreaming about and thinking about the FA Cup. I think last season they thought, you know, when they had Brighton here, they had a really good opportunity to kind of progress further. They'd already won a trophy and come up a little bit short in the end in stoppage time. But the form they're in at the moment, particularly here, I think it's 12 games unbeaten now, because back at the end of September, the last time they were defeated here at St James's Park. So they're in good form. However, Bournemouth do seem to have a little thing over them. I think it's six in a row. Bournemouth have gone unbeaten against Newcastle. They came here and won 4-1 last time out. They've been in wretched form, of course. That win against Spurs in midweek was their first win in 12. So I think both of them will look at today as a distraction. The worry for Newcastle, obviously, is the amount of injuries they've got and the fact they're in action again on Tuesday night live on Talksport in that Carabao Cup semi-final first leg against Manchester City. So who Eddie Howe can put out today, the quality that he's got, particularly defensively, because I think he's down to his last two centre halves in Chow and Botman. Botman obviously just back from injury as well. I think that's going to be the tricky part for Eddie, as it's been for most of this season, balancing who he can play to keep enough players fresh for these other big games they've got coming up.
Yeah, well, that's a constant challenge for all the teams, particularly in the Premier League with the fixture congestion. So it'll be interesting to see how Eddie Howe sort of deals with that yet again. Mickey, of course, the big headline for Bournemouth, this is their first game post-Antoine Semenyo. I mean, as a player in the dressing room, when you lose that talismanic figure, I mean, we saw that in the winner that he scored against Spurs, a beautiful moment, I guess, to end his Bournemouth career. What do you think the sort of psychology is like when you've lost that player?
Well, it's never nice. You want to try and keep hold of your best players if you possibly can, but I think we all knew that at some point Semenyo was going to be leaving Bournemouth. You know, they've had a bit of time to think about it. I know they're obviously going to want to try and replace him. I think Iraola's turned around and said maybe we could replace him with two players, but you cannot buy the type of quality that Semenyo brings to a club like Bournemouth Football Club. So, unfortunately, they're going to have to live without him. Look, we know how special he is, and I think we're all waiting with bated breath to see him in a Manchester City shirt to see what he could bring to their club. But his goals and assists, that's something that they're going to have to replace. And they've done it okay in the past, haven't they, Bournemouth? Look, it's not the first top quality player that they've lost. So they just have to kind of work their business, if you like, in that January window and just look for who they think's probably the best person to replace them and to try and keep, I suppose I'd have to put it that way, to try and keep Bournemouth in the Premier League, because they've started to slide down the table quite a bit, haven't they, Max?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I think you've mentioned the recruitment there. If there's one thing we know about Bournemouth, they might not be the biggest club, they might not have the biggest revenue streams whatsoever by any stretch, but the recruitment has been fantastic. And so I for one, am not particularly worried about them, although they are, as you rightly say, sliding down the Premier League. Adam, Mickey, great stuff. I'll let you continue your loving up there in Newcastle. A reminder, you'll be able to hear Newcastle Bournemouth following us with Adam and Mickey from around 2:15 p.m. But our attention is at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, and it's advantage Sunderland at half-time. Here's how the first half sounded right here on Talksport 2.
teams are out below us on the lush playing surface of Hill Dickinson Stadium for the first ever time in the FA Cup. Everton out in the 4th round last season as they said goodbye to Goodison. It was the 3rd round that Sunderland fell in. These two are locked together in the middle of the Premier League table. The young Harrison Armstrong, the 18-year-old, goes back into his Everton defence. Not used to seeing Jake O'Brien in that central berth. He's played a ball out to his today centre-back partner Tarkowski, who launches one downfield in the direction of Beto. Seemed that he and McNeil got in each other's way, and Sunderland have no problem clearing. In it comes deep towards the penalty spot. It's allowed to bounce, drops, now back to goal, the Sunderland attack. Back to Lefay. Oh, what a brilliant goal. Enzo Lefay with a stunner. Corner of the area, bent it around Jordan Pickford, and 7,700 Sunderland fans celebrating the corner. Corner from the other side, low flat delivery, McCollincoe away, this time with a header, over a kick attempt, saved by Pickford, scrambled off the line. Oh, what a chance that was. Meander holding the ball up 18-yard box, tried to get an out ball quickly into Lefay, couldn't reach him. Everton's clearance is poor though again, they've given it away cheaply, and here's Mundell, 35 yards out, going for the shot on the right foot. Good save, Pickford, because that was destined for the top corner. But away at Everton, they are leading by 1-0 at half-time.
Yeah, that's how it sounded here on Talksport 2 FA Cup Game Day Live. That luscious strike from Enzo Lefay separating from Sunderland from Everton at Hill Dickinson Stadium. You can hear the crowd getting up for it there. Everton needing something. David Moyes needing something from his side. Maybe going to be calling on the young players. Let's head back over to our commentary team of Charlie Adam and Cameron Pope.
Thank you very much. Second half almost upon us. Sunderland leading by 1-0 at Hill Dickinson Stadium. It'll be the Black Cats who get us underway shortly in this second period. Enzo Lefay's goal. A brilliant finish after some terrible defending from Everton to allow a long throw to bounce. They haven't been able to get themselves back in the game. And we were talking, Charlie Adam alongside me, off air at half-time about the extent to which Everton can make changes. We're on a bench where 6 of the 9 haven't played a first-team game for Everton, and it looks like the same 11 versus 11 in the second period, at least for now.
Yeah, I think this will, next 10-15 minutes, the manager will give them, and then he'll look to make changes. You might have to just put one of the young players on just to see what you've got and where you are, but if I'm looking at it, the obvious decision would be to take off Tyler Dibbling and bring on Tierno Barry and go 4-4-2 and get Beto and Barry together and see what that partnership can bring today. But Everton need a lot more in terms of what they've been given in that first half. Good energy, more enthusiasm to make things happen and look to try and hurt that Sunderland defence.
So goal kick to Everton, 30 seconds into this second half. Sunderland leading on Talksport 2 by 1-0. Pickford's kicking from the ground. I'll go quickly through the teams. Pickford in goal for Everton. Patterson, Tarkowski, O'Brien and McCollincoe the back four. Röhl and Garner sitting in midfield behind Dibbling, Armstrong and McNeil. Beto is the striker as Sunderland win it back, and Everton fans cry handball. It's Xhaka's ball on halfway. Tries to thread it through towards his striker Meander, and that ball easily gobbled up by McCollincoe. And back to his goalkeeper. Sunderland also unchanged. Roofs in net, Sirkin, O'Nien, Mukiele and Hume across the back four. Xhaka and Siddiqui in defensive midfield behind Lefay, the goal scorer. Adingra and Mundell, the wide men. And Meander is leading the line. And Sunderland have a much stronger bench at their disposal. All 5 players who came out of the 11 for their Premier League loss, Brentford, are on the bench for this one. So plenty to pick from for Regis Lebris and his side in a good position.
Yeah, important for Everton when they're trying to build. Obviously, looks like Sunderland looking to build and pressing that 4-1-3-2. The full-backs of Everton are going to be key. It looks like Nathan Patterson's the one where it's the extra player, so they can actually get out with him. If Merlin Roll actually comes down, plays alongside Jimmy Gardner, then Pickford can pick out Patterson, and so they're getting out on that right-hand side. So be interesting to see how that develops in the second half, how Patterson does against Mundell, because Mundell's got good pace, good talent, and it's caused Patterson some problems in the first half.
Well, Merlin Royal gave what seemed to be a simple ball up to Beto away, hence the groans you'll have heard from Hill Dickinson Stadium, the vast part of it, as the blue seats are filling up again with trips back from the warmth of the concourse. It's I feel for those players who've been out at, like Noah Siddiqui at the Africa Cup of Nations, because the temperature dropped from Morocco to Liverpool. Yeah, that's something that you don't want to feel too often. Here come Everton now, forward with Röhrl. Out to the right-hand side, deep cross over the head of McNeil, and way over hit, because the only man who was going to get that was Siddiqui, near side the right for Sunderland. On the right boot, trying to squeeze a pass up towards Miyenda. It's away by O'Brien, and Mikolenko can't control, and Adingra will have it back. Down to ground he goes under the challenge, and there was never going to be an advantage, but, well, he's given it against Sunderland. Referee clearly thinking that Adingra was holding the ball illegally on the ground, and Everton wastes no time in getting forward, but McNeil's pass towards Beto is a poor one, and Mukiele, under some pressure, it must be said, from Beto, does manage to clear. It's Röhrl's ball on halfway. No side can keep possession for long, it seems, in this second half. Sunderland 1-0 up from the first. Here comes Garner for Everton. 35 yards out in central. Out to Dibbling. Right edge of the area. Man overlapping now. Trying to get across into the area is Patterson. Cuts it back to Garner. Crosses towards the back post. Beto heads at goal. And it's a simple save for Robin Roos. Dead central it was. Didn't move the goalkeeper. But it's a start for Everton.
Yeah, that much better from Everton. Patterson on the overlap. Dibbling coming inside. Set back to Jimmy Garner. And good delivery. Probably not enough pace on the ball for Beto, but that's much better from Everton.
Well, they need more of that. Lacklustre going forward. They've got another cheap ball. Röhrl, halfway inside Sunderland territory. Warned to the presence of Lefebvre behind them by the crowd. McNeil down the left-hand side. Armstrong with the cross. Crossed it in, looking for a touch off the defender. It's gone out of its own accord, says the referee. No touch from Lefebvre, and it is a goal kick to Sunderland. 1-0 they lead. 49 minutes gone at Hill Dickinson Stadium, and improvements needed from Everton. They're getting green shoots now early in the second period. Scores elsewhere in the other three games kicking off at 12:15. Leicester are 2-0 up and comfortable over League Two strugglers Cheltenham. Macclesfield still have that shock lead from the first half against Crystal Palace. That's over on Talksport, and Wolves lead Shrewsbury by 3-1. Here is Mundell on halfway for Sunderland, who had plenty to build on in terms of foundations from that first half, but have been warned to the threat of their visitors. Two quick balls downfield, see Mundell away, left-hand side of the area, cutting onto his right foot. Defensive touch was a good one from Garner, out to the edge of the penalty area. Here is Hume. Slow right-footed ball towards Adingra. Dummies the cross against Mikolenko. Now back to Xhaka. Hume into the penalty area, right edge, right-footed pass, up towards Miyenda, with his back to goal, can't get a shot away, goes down, referee not interested, in fact he's blown for a free kick for Everton, and the first sign of pressure on the Everton back line is dealt with without too much trouble. 50 minutes gone, it's Everton 0, Sunderland 1.
Yeah, it's just too easy for Trey Hume to get in there, that Everton defence. The gap between Mikolenko and O'Brien's too big, and just simple pass from Xhaka in between that, so no, too easy, but positive stuff. You're an Everton supporter, much more happier with how they've started this second half.
Well, it's exactly what you'll have wanted to see, because there was precious little to get excited about in that first 45 minutes for Everton. And David Moyes, since leading them to Wembley and to the final in 2009, he's in his seasons with Everton and other Premier League clubs, he's struggled in the FA Cup, really, and this one has been a struggle so far. Here is Dibbling on halfway. Struggled to get into the game in the first period. Now he's trying to get himself into the Sunderland half of the field. Battling hard here against Enzo Lefebvre. Referee gave him the advantage, and he gets a round of applause from the Everton supporters. Here's Dibbling again. Orange boots. Socks rolled down. Out of the centre circle. Now finding the groove. Forward to McNeil. Edge of the box, right-footed. McNeil almost ceding ball to Dibbling, wanting a shot. Now it comes to Gardner. 35 yards out. Sustained pressure from Everton. Cross from Patterson on the right-hand side. And O'Nien will pick this up. It went to the one area of the box where there wasn't an Everton man. And Sunderland can clear. Well, they'll start again, Everton. And they've got the home fans on side again now. They were starting to turn at moments in that first half. In the attacking third it is. Röhrl forced to play backwards to the centre circle. Now here's Garner. Right-hand side, Patterson turning, right-footed cross. Too deep for an Everton head, though. And out towards the other corner flag it goes, where Mikolenko has to keep it in against the Adingra. Now the Ukrainian gets his cross in, left-footed. Header away into the 18-yard box for Sunderland. Picked up by Tarkovsky. Lefay almost pinching it off him, and Adingra did get it back eventually. By that time Everton had covering defenders, and there's a groan as O'Brien opts to go all the way back to his goalkeeper. This game stays on 53 minutes at Everton 0, Sunderland 1.
Yeah, it's good play from Everton, more intensity. I think the manager's got stuck into them at half time, I would imagine so, in terms of knowing what he was like. He'd have told them a few home truths that was unacceptable, and it looks like they've come out second half with a wee bit more energy and a wee bit more enthusiasm to play forward and have a bit about the game, and much better from Everton. Sloppy pass from Harrison Armstrong there.
Thunderous ball forward from Tarkowski to try and make up for it, and he's gone back for the free kick again. A good example of refereeing from John Brooks. Tarkowski got across to try and clear that ball upfield. He was cleaned out after the ball had gone, and there's a shake of the hand from Romain Mundle, the man who caught him, and the ball was bouncing into the attacking third with nobody around it in Everton blue, and so it seems the right idea to go back for the free kick as Mykolenko walks it forward, whips it into the 18-yard box where O'Nien will chest it down, and here is Hume on the right hand side of the fence for Sunderland, who lead 1-0 in this game. Halfway it goes for Mayenda into the feet of Adingra, sees his pass blocked by Mykolenko. Sunderland still have it inside their own half with Xhaka. A weak ball towards Sirkin. He did get there ahead of Dibbling though, and now here's Lefay stepping over the white of the halfway line into Xhaka, who stands on the ball, and before going back into his defence. Not pressing too high here, Sunderland, no urgency from them, comfortable enough with a 1-goal lead. Down the right flank it goes for the Black Cats, up towards Mayenda, who was barged off the ball by O'Brien, and then a free kick to Everton as Mykolenko is pulled down by Adingra just inside his own half. Taken quickly as well, Ruel, right-footed, whipping one cross field, and chasing this one is Dibbling, and gets there in time as well at the corner flag, and fails in his attempts to win a corner though of Sirkin. It will be a goal kick straight out off the Everton man.
Yeah, again, positive from Everton. I know that Dibbling never got that ball there and put it for a goal kick, but playing forward, making Sunderland defend, getting energy into the crowd, getting the crowd back inside with the team. So yeah, much better from Everton.
55 now, emblazoned on the two stadium clocks. Sunderland fans steadily growing in volume again, near 8,000 of them, into raptures at the half-hour mark through Lefay's goal as Mykolenko plays a firm ball back to his goalkeeper, who under pressure is cleared straight into the sky, and it comes down at the feet of Mundle. 25 yards out from goal. Quick 1-2 with Sirkin, now set upon by two Navy Everton shirts. Garner with a foot in, sent it out for a throw-in. Oh, and there's a flashpoint here because Garner has entered into a confrontation. Mundle, I think, at the centre of it as well for Sunderland. And the referee has come across here. It all seemed to come out of nothing. There's pushing and shoving. And the referee might have some decisions to make here. It's not on the side where the assistant referee is, so it all depends how much John Brooks saw, Charlie Adam.
Yeah, it's just, I don't think Mundle's happy with Jimmy Gardner's tackle, and he's jumped up to react to it. So yeah, a bit of handbags really, but no, it's, you know, Gardner's just trying to get an intensity to the game and trying to force something and get this crowd with them, but Mundle obviously wasn't too happy. I think it could be 2 yellow cards here for them.
We've just seen a replay here on the monitor in front of us.
Fair play, just let them get on with it.
He's going to let him go. Now, I thought that Garner, after the tackle had gone in, it looked a clean but firm tackle. I thought he had a little nibble there at Mundle. Looked like the way he placed his foot, it could have been accidental. I think he knew what he was doing looking at that, but referee either didn't see it or didn't see it that way, and so they're told not to do it again. And there are no yellow cards. As Wolves get a fourth against Shrewsbury, 4-1.
Sensible refereeing, are we saying that?
I think sensible refereeing. I think he's done well.
Yeah, no, again, it's just, like you say, I get it. I've been there as a player of Jimmy Gardner. Things have not happened for us today, and we're going, and we need to lay a marker to try and get a tempo, a rhythm within the team, and to get the supporters on our side and a tackle, and has maybe done that, but maybe overstepped the mark. But fair play to the referees. He's let it go, and hopefully that can continue within the game.
Everton have a free kick. Tarkowski, who initially let a ball past him that he shouldn't have, raced back to his byline, kept it in, and then was grabbed by Mayenda, and the referee opting for the free kick. 57 minutes gone. Everton 0, Sunderland 1 on Talksport 2. We've got Newcastle versus Bournemouth coming after. Macclesfield versus Crystal Palace. is over on Talksport, and that it's still 1-0 to the National League North side as Dibbling collects for Everton halfway, running against Mundell. No Jack Grealish with suspension for Everton today, but he's almost reincarnated through Dibbling in the way he wears his socks, but he hasn't held on to the ball. He's given it away cheaply, and here comes Sunderland over halfway. Xhaka, orange boots, passes it between the two of them and steps back into his defensive line again, not forcing the issue, Sunderland. Here's Mukiele, who went close to that second goal for Sunderland in the first half with that dramatic overhead kick that was well saved by Jordan Pickford. And here is Xhaka in the centre circle. Crossfield towards Adingra, now halfway inside the Everton half. Slips the ball down the line looking for Trey Hume, who tried the back heel, hit two Everton players with it. The ball's rebounded almost to him. O'Brien had to come across and try and battle, and the Everton fans are now giving them an earful, and maybe the assistant referee too, for awarding a Sunderland throw.
Yeah, just watching Granit Xhaka there. He's just enjoying playing, isn't he? You can see he's playing with real freedom and leadership within this team. You know, just the way he orchestrates everything. Everybody wants to give him the ball. He's the main man within the team. He wants to make things happen, and you know, he's enjoying himself playing in this Sunderland team. But again, he's got to keep control of it, keep control of the team, keep the momentum, keep building what they're trying to do, and you know, be that link. So Xhaka has been brilliant so far in terms of being able to do the job for Sunderland, what they need him to do.
There's a little bit of everything. Granit Xhaka, he scored as well this season against Everton in November. As Sunderland gear up for a second throw in quick succession near side their right. Everton fans took umbrage at the manner in which the first was taken by Mukiele. Looked suspiciously close to a foul throw. He goes long with this one though, into a crowded penalty area. Flick on backwards, goalkeeper comes, collides with his own defender there, Pickford, as he smashes it clear with the left hand. It was Patterson he landed on, who's okay, and has got himself back up onto 2 feet. Sunderland collecting themselves on halfway, route one ball straight into the hands of Pickford that time. The first, a decisive bit of goalkeeping. The second, a poor ball from Sunderland, who still lead 1-0.
Brilliant play from Lefay there. Pickford trying to rush it and go long to Dibbling, but Lefay just picked it out of the air.
But Sunderland have lost it. They've played it out to Garner, 45 yards out. Moving towards the attacking third with O'Brien. Now McNeil left edge of the penalty area. Mikolenko crossing. Goalkeeper's coming for it. Didn't get there. It flicked off an Everton head out towards the back end of the area. Patterson. Everton trailing 1-0, but he's ceded possession there to Mundell, and then Mundell goes down, and it's going to be a Sunderland ball in the corner. And just for a moment there, Sunderland were on the ropes.
Yeah, naive from Nathan Patterson there. Just he had Mundell in the corner. He didn't have to foul him. Makes a foul and just allows Sunderland now to get out. But Everton go back to that long throw. Never dealt with that long throw again, and that's where the goal come from. So something that Sunderland obviously feel that they can get a success from.
Well, no successes for either team in this second half so far. We are an hour into the game. Everton 0, Sunderland 1. Enzo Lefay's goal on the half-hour mark. And there's been a goal somewhere else in the FA Cup, Charlie Adam. Can you guess who it's gone for? It's 2-0 Macclesfield against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, brilliant. It's, having the owner in earlier and the manager on, when you get that draw, it's a fairy tale, but when the game comes alive, you want to do your best and you want to win, and they've put themselves in an unbelievable position now.
Well, half an hour to go in that game, half an hour to go in this game. If you want to listen to that, it's on the main Talksport station, and the easiest way to flick between this Talksport 2 and that is via the Talksport app. Makes it a whole lot easier. And there's going to be plenty of football on this network over the weekend as well. This is one of 5 live commentaries today as Sunderland prepare for a defensive throw.
Will this be one of the biggest shocks for the holders if they get beat?
Well, I heard earlier on Talksport it was being discussed that it might be the biggest shock ever, and there's not many that can beat it, surely. The holders going reasonably well, and then Macclesfield, who aren't doing all that well in the 6th tier. They were sort of talking about back-to-back promotions. It doesn't look like it's going to happen that way, but what a memorable day. I mean, even whatever it goes from this point now, they're always going to have those memories, but it might be more than memories. It might be a place in the 4th round of the FA Cup as McNeil holds on to it a second too long. Has it taken off him? And now Sunderland's trying to start from inside their own half. Forward to Lefay, goal scorer, foot on the ball, plays it forward towards Mienda, around O'Brien, shooting chance across the face of goal and wide. and Everton caught cold. Defence to attack in a matter of moments for Sunderland, and every player was a link in the chain and rolled through to Mayenda, who slipped away from the defender. Tight angle though, went past the goalkeeper, past the post. It remains 1-0 Sunderland.
Yeah, the game got too open there in the midfield. Lafay's wait a pass to Mayenda, running behind O'Brien. Actually, O'Brien does well to allow him to go force on wide, but still allows his shot to get in and nearly puts it past Pickford on his left hand side. And now the pressure now coming from the crowd on these Everton players. Pickford now kicking out at the pitch with his right foot, so a little bit of pressure coming from supporters. Now how do you deal with that as a player? You've got to take responsibility.
Goodison had that effect, didn't it? It was such an intimate ground. You were never very far away from the field. It's different here in this modern bowl, and you do feel the wrath of Everton supporters as a free kick is given against Everton with Mundell down on the corner of the penalty area. And so the vanishing spray is out, and Everton will have to be wary. It's the sort of free kick where you've got plenty of angle, as Charlie Adam, our resident set play expert, will well know. And with 27 minutes to go, a chance for Sunderland to double their lead. Yeah, again, the quality of Xhaka and Lafay over the ball, but when you come to a place like this, or Goodison, first 10-15 minutes always important, especially the away team. Can you start to get the crowd on? Because these Everton fans, they will start to groan quite quick, and if they don't feel that it's happening for them, they'll start to go that, and you've got to feed off that as an away player. Here comes Lafay, trying to do just that, whips it in, fired towards the defensive header away, then Sirkin plays it back down the line, still in play, but the offside flag is up. It was Adingra who'd kept it from going behind for a goal kick, and it's much the same scenario because we've got a free kick within a few yards of the Everton byline. Everton, who trail by a goal to nil, still from the first half. Enzo Lafay with a curling effort. Everton with themselves to blame though for not clearing a long throw in when they had the chance. And we go on in this FA Cup third round tie, and still without any substitutions either. We did see Tierno Barry warming up for Everton one-on-one with the fitness staff at half time, but as we've mentioned earlier, very little to go off for Everton on that bench. 6 of their 9 players have never played an Everton first team game that they've got available, and a high teenage presence. It's not come to that just yet. Sunderland also haven't had to make a change, and they've got this game under control for the moment, although a second goal will give them breathing space. Beto for Everton, centre circle, now into row, and he's got Patterson arriving over the right hand side, now up towards the fringes of the penalty area. McNeil, left-footed passing towards Harrison Armstrong, driving towards the defence, beats 1 and 2, out to the right-hand side, cross from the byline, Beto scrambling, goes down, was he held? Referee says no, and the Everton fans all around are appealing, and he looked like he was shaping up for a bicycle kick there. He was backing away from the ball, ready to turn his body. I don't know if there might have been an arm on him there, Charlie Adam.
Yeah, no, but I don't think it's enough. I don't think that's enough for a penalty. He's gone back the way. Oh, he's got a right good hold of it, Trey Hume in there, and that maybe if the VAR was here, we'd have a different scenario. But
well, I tell you what, Trey Hume, who's the marking defender, he is a fortunate man. Yeah. He has the bottom of Beto's Everton jersey in his hand. You can see it billowing out as the Everton man backs away. If that gets seen by the assistant referee, who was a long way away from that, or the referee, then it's surely an Everton penalty. It'll be interesting to get David Moyes' thoughts on that later. Still 1-0 to Sunderland. Everton threatening to come back into this game. 66 minutes have gone. Here's Dibbling for Everton, far side there right, 20 yards inside the Sunderland half. Enlists the help of Tarkowski in the centre circle. Everton attacking down their right hand side. It's come to Patterson. Beto is still primed in the middle, waiting for a cross ball. Back to Tarkowski. Nobody around him in the centre circle at the moment. Here comes McCollinco, ducks away from Adingra's challenge, shoots on the left foot, and saved by the goalkeeper. He's struck from distance there. It was a brave one to take on. Hasn't scored this season, McCollinco, but it was right at Roos. And now Everton coming forward again towards Beto. Header away, drops 35 yards out for McCollinco. No shot this time. McNeil, left edge of the penalty area, right on the corner. Forward towards Armstrong, keeps himself onside. Back it goes to O'Brien, deepest lying Everton outfielder. Everyone behind the ball for Sunderland. Forced further and further away though. Now to Tarkowski in the centre circle. Calling for it out wide right is Patterson. He'll have it now. Everton a goal down, but improving. Forward into the right-hand channel, looking for Merlin Röhl, can't find it. And played away by Sunderland with Siddiqui. Sustained period of pressure they've come under.
Yeah, had a couple of chances Everton recently. Mikalenko shot, and better from Everton. Front foot, really being aggressive. Brilliant play from Siddiqui.
Oh, Siddiqui's just whipped that ball away from Merlin Röhl. He flicked it from his right foot to his left heel and then sprinted away. And then he's been let down by Romain Mundel further up the field, who lets a simple pass go out under his left foot. And Everton will send the ball back from the throw-in all the way to Jordan Pickford. We're into the final quarter of this game now. There will, of course, be extra time and penalties, with replays no longer being a thing. As Nottingham Forest found out last night, the first Premier League side to go out at the hands of Wrexham. Everton might be going the same way. Wolves are having no such issue against League Two opponents in Shrewsbury. 4-1 up at Molineux. It's still 2-0 to Leicester away at Cheltenham, and Macclesfield, incredibly, are still 2-0 up on the holders Crystal Palace over on Talksport. As a long ball downfield from Tarkowski is only fit for a catch for the goalkeeper, and he apologises to his Everton teammates. There's activity on the Sunderland bench, and Brian Brobby, who's been used interchangeably with Wilson Isidore, who's also on the bench today, is getting himself ready to enter into play alongside Dan Ballard. And so I thought we might be seeing some changes soon, and Sunderland with a lead to protect.
Yeah, no, Ballard and Brobby coming on. I watched Brobby the other week against Man City, and he was a real handful, and it's just something that they look to bring Ballard in that back line to shore it up a little bit, and Brobby, his power at the top end of the pitch, and Everton making the sub as well.
Activity on both benches as Everton walk it forward over halfway on the right hand side. Garner it is, using Röhl, and now McNeil, 20 yards inside the Sunderland half. A half they're spending more time in than the second period, but still without the goal they need to make it level. Those Sunderland subs waiting stripped to come on. Will it be a 1-0 scoreline they enter into? Everton man down, free kick 35 yards out, far side the right.
Yeah, that's Siddiqui making another foul, and he's already in the yellow card, so he'll have to be wary of that. So, no, I think it looks like, if I'm the coach now, Barrow, Tierno Barrow coming on, I think they're going to go with the 4-4-2 and put him up front with Beto.
So the free kick will have to wait for the moment, because Tierno Barry is getting ready for Everton, but we are going to see Simon Adingra and Eliezer Mayenda be replaced for the away side. Brian Brobby, who's got 3 goals in the Premier League this season, waiting to come on, alongside Dan Ballard, who's got 2. And scored the late goal that sent Sunderland to the Championship playoff final back in May, and they haven't looked back since then. And Brobby, the first to cross the whitewash, slaps of the hands for Adingra, who takes his place on the bench. Mayenda as well, and Ballard is on. And so might we see a little change of shape here, Charlie, I think, with the defensive Ballard coming on to replace an attacking Adingra. But the first thing they'll have to do is defend, because Everton have this free kick, far side there right, whipped in towards the back post, and everybody missed it. Oh, and Tarkowski was the man on the back stick. All he needed to do was turn that inside the post. There's a scrap on for it by the corner. Siddiqui has won it and played it down the line. Sunderland defending for the moment, something they're having to do more and more of in this game. Out to the right hand side, and a long and launched ball forward. Sunderland attacking, looking for the second goal. Mundell on the left flank, left-footed cross into the shins of Dibbling, couldn't get it away. And they're going to try and run this ball clear now, Everton. Still being forced into mistakes though, and they've lost it 35 yards out. Barry still waiting to come on for Everton. But it's defending they're doing for the moment. 0-9, on halfway. Sunderland 1-0 up. 72nd minute of the game on Talksport 2. Trades a pass out to the left with Sirkin. Now back inside his own half for the moment. Here comes Mukiele, centre circle. Everton players starting to press. Beto's going to chase this down to the goalkeeper. Roos slicing his ball horribly though. It's gone straight to Röhl, who can't control. How many times have we seen that from Everton today? And they'll try and win it back over 9 in vain, who clears it aerially over halfway as Brian Brobby wastes no time in getting stuck in a shoulder barge on James Tarkowski, having shown little interest in challenging the Everton man for a header. And it's a free kick to the Merseysiders, who find themselves a goal down, with time ticking away in their first game in the FA Cup at their new home. Enzo Lefay's goal, half an hour in, the only goal in this game, as Armstrong evades a challenge from Siddiqui, who has to get his tackle right, lunges in, missed the ball, and the man on the yellow card has a quick anxious look to the referee, but there will be no further recriminations, and Everton starts 10 yards inside the Sunderland half on this free kick.
So Sunderland, yeah, they've changed their shape and gone with that sort of 5-2-3 at the top end of the pitch, and looking to try and secure that sort of middle of the pitch with bodies and that back line, because you know we sort of 17 minutes to go, they know that Everton are going to start putting lots of crosses in, and Ballard is good in the air and will bring a lot of height to that. So change of shape for Sunderland so far, and we'll see what Everton do when they bring Barry on.
Here is Garner for Everton at 1-0 down. Further down the left-hand flank towards McCollincoe, crossing towards the back post. Men were arriving in Everton blue. McNeil got there on a header, played it to Röhl. Corner of the box. Back out to Tarkowski. And here's Dwight McNeil shooting on the left boot, rising and spinning away from goal. Got right underneath the sphere. And for a moment, Roos was scampering over to his right-hand side and then saw it was heading well wide. It is Tyler Dibbling who is going off for Everton. Smattering of applause. Nice to see for a young man for whom it's not really working out in his season with Everton. Struggled to get into the game. Flashes in the second half, and he's to be replaced by Tierno Barry.
Yeah, listen, it's not so far. It's not happened for him today. He's no real positive impact in the match. But let's say at half time, he's a young player learning the game, and great manager to learn from, and coaching staff who'll spend the time with him on the training pitch and work on individual work and getting him up to speed of what this football club is and how he needs to do things differently here than he did at Southampton. And yeah, it's a long career, but it's important that he's got the mentality to and the attitude to want to work and want to improve as a player, and he's got the right staff in there that'll help him on an individual basis.
That's Tyler Dibbling off for the also young Tierno Barry, who's come on 3 Premier League goals this season. Back-to-back games he scored in at New Year, as McCollincoe slips, but does manage to right himself to take an Everton defensive throw-in, left-hand side of their defence. Still 1-0 to Sunderland. Final 15 minutes of this FA Cup third-round tie are upon us. Leicester still winning 2-0 at Cheltenham. Macclesfield still beating Crystal Palace on Talksport by 2 unanswered goals, and Wolves look to be safely through to the fourth round, 4-1 up against Shrewsbury. Which of these teams will be joining them? Sunderland had 3 round 1 exits in a row in their days further down the pyramid as they struggle to get out of League One. Might be heading to the fourth round here. Out to the left-hand side for Mundell. Attacking on the right boot. Inside Patterson, but then McNeil came back and got a foot in the way. Wins it back on the edge of his penalty area. Trying to push it clear. And Everton looking for anything they can get now. Just need a foothold in this steep cliff face of this game, it's turned out to be. They've been swimming against the tide since Lefay's first half goal, and having struggled in the Premier League, 1 win in 6 for both of these teams, it must be said. They travel next Sunday to Aston Villa. They were hoping the cup might be the tonic, something to get them moving again in the Premier League. They've won a free kick 20 yards inside Southampton territory through O'Brien, who was body checked as he careered through towards the attacking section of the pitch, and it will be Garner to set this down for Everton. Now there's an extra man to aim for in the attack with Tierno Barry. Those dark blue Everton shirts with the pink trim clustered in and around the red and white of Sunderland. Right footed ball, flat it is from Garner, into the penalty area. Armstrong trying to hold it up, didn't get a clear connection on it, and his ground pass was easily cleared by Mundell. Back on halfway, 77 gone, Everton 0, Sunderland 1.
Yeah, it was good play from Garner and Harrison Armstrong trying to link the play, but defender recovered well. But for Sunderland, I just watched Granit Xhaka he's been unbelievable. He's been excellent today.
Well, Mykolenko's cross on the left-hand side, header at goal is safely over the bar. Tarkowski it was, goalkeeper backtracking. Had to cut Charlie Adam off because suddenly Mykolenko found a bit of room for the cross, and it wasn't a bad cross either, but the defender had a lot to do on the header and couldn't get the power needed to steer it past the goalkeeper. 77 gone. Charlie, you were saying?
Yeah, just watching Granit Xhaka here, and I'm coaching, and I look at young players, and I say, look at the best players in the Premier League, what they do, and how his desire to get on the ball, his hunger to go and win it back, but also his awareness of how to when to press, when to set, and his timing, his pass and his movement. It's just unbelievable. And for young players just watching the game, should watch these players week in, week out, and get the opportunity, because you can only learn from these type of players.
Everton on the move, crossing from the right hand side towards Barry. First chance for him, diving header wide though, into a cluster of bodies. Good cross to find him from Dwight McNeil, and they got in between two defenders and then headed low towards the bottom right hand corner of Roosters' net, but it's just wide. Everton growing into this game in time for the last 10 minutes, but they still trail by the Enzo Lefebvre goal.
Yeah, that's better. Dwight McNeil on that right hand side now, being able to cut back. That's where he likes to play, on the opposite side where Dibbling was playing, cutting in on that with his left foot, and it's a good ball, and Barry does well to get past Siddiqui there. So signs from Everton is that Dwight McNeil will probably look to play it inside the pitch and get Patterson on the overlap, and hopefully he can create something for the boys at the top end.
Everton still pushing and still probing. Mykolenko near side there left, inside towards Armstrong, shimmies away from Lefebvre, and now Barry, right footed shot into a sea of bodies, and it cannons away in favour of Sunderland with Siddiqui. Out to the left hand side now for Mundle. Don't seem to be too perturbed by the pressure against them. Mundle's come a long way from the left hand side to the centre, and then playing it into Mukiele, who's edging forward up the field now. Long ball over the top is back into Everton clutches, and the sting taken out of it by Garner's ball back to his goalkeeper. It's funny how sometimes a pass back to the goalkeeper can be almost booed, and sometimes it can be the best thing a fan base have seen as they G Everton forward up the field, trying to rouse their side. This home crowd, it's not far off a sellout, and they're yet to be treated to an Everton goal that's going to get them back on terms. 1-0, Sunderland leading from the first half and destined for spots in the FA Cup fourth round, as Tarkowski on the left foot sizes up Brobby and goes out to the right hand side, where he's found McNeil. Tried to thread a pass into the feet of Better, who was blocked off. Siddiqui the man to win it, and then loses it in his own feet and plays it out for an Everton throw. Mistakes, individual mistakes, they've always been there, but they're just starting to creep in more now with increased frequency.
Yeah, both teams have changed shape. 3-5-2 Sunderland, 4-4-2 Everton. So again, looking to try and play, get it wide, and for Everton be looking to get box in the box. I think you said by Barry is that he had the most head contacts in La Liga last year for Villarreal. So something that Everton will be looking to use and get Mykolenko, get Patterson wide, get it into Dwight McNeil to put cross in the box for the two boys. But Everton have had a little bit more pressure and more forward passes this half, and have caused Sunderland a little bit more energy and intensity to it.
Oh, Rill thought he'd won the ball back on the byline there. He locked into an intense scrap with Nordi Mukiele. Mukiele went down to ground, and then as the German winger waltzed away, the whistle sounded, and there has been a whirlwind of disagreement coming from the Everton supporters, who fancied their side there with blue shirts prevalent in the penalty area. He went down there, Mukiele, under the challenge.
He's bought a foul.
You see them give him, but it's soft, isn't it?
It's soft, and again, like you said, away team now, 10 minutes to go, they're the ones you buy fouls, you take the sting of the game. You got nothing. You got the goal advantage. This is what you do with the away team. Get the crowd on the back for the home players.
Brobby, I think, has handballed that long pass downfield. Everton starting quickly. Long ball of their own into the Sunderland defence that was flicked away by O'Nien. As the away side come forward again over halfway, McNeil with a challenge. That might be a yellow card. Knew he wasn't getting to the ball. Sirkin got away from him, and it seems he's escaped further punishment there. Dwight McNeil. Sirkin was quicker and speeding away. Those two share a sportsmanly handshake. Sunderland have a free kick leading 1-0 just inside the Everton half with 82 minutes gone. Out to Mundell on the left-hand side. They'll put it back towards halfway. Macclesfield still leading Crystal Palace 2-0 over on Talksport. Sunderland with Sirkin up towards the byline. In a confrontation now with Patterson. Steers it away from goal now. Back towards Xhaka, who's going to go back to the deepest lying Sunderland outfielder in 09. Now down the left-hand side. Away side still attacking. Régis Lebris will be happy with what he's seeing. Ball at the right end for Sunderland. Back it goes to Lefay. Edge of the penalty area. Passed into the box for Sirkin, who shoots over the bar. And Lefay, who was in the sort of area he scored from in the first half. I think the Everton defenders were starting to back away, expecting a shot. He plays the short slide rule pass into the area. And then Sirkin, not always a man you see in attacking areas. And he looked like a man in an area of the field he's not used to being in. Pulled the shot way over the bar, and no harm to the Everton goal.
Yeah, no, it's good play from Lefay, just taking the sting at the game and then just releasing that quality of pass in between the lines to Sirkin. But yeah, real good technician, isn't he, with Lefay's goals? You'll see that it was an unbelievable finish, but showed some lovely touches in this game, and has been a big asset to this team. You know, even last year in the Championship, and then obviously getting promoted, they signed him full time, and yeah, he's had a brilliant season so far, and let's say he's up there along with Xhaka, with Mayenda and people like that this year who have done extremely well in the Sunderland team after promotion.
Free kick Sunderland on halfway. They lead 1-0. Patterson conceding with a push, and he's a player, Enzo Lefay, that Régis Lebris brought from his time at Lorient. And it came at a good time for him personally. His move to Sunderland, his big money move to the Italian league hadn't worked out, but he's deciding this game at the moment, and there are 6 minutes left of normal time in this FA Cup third round tie on Talksport 2. Newcastle versus Bournemouth follows from 3 p.m, and the two later games as well over on Talksport will be Tottenham versus Aston Villa and Charlton versus Chelsea, as Everton ready themselves for a dead ball. The closing stages of Macclesfield versus Crystal Palace, closing stages of normal time, are over on the main station. Macclesfield still holding the FA Cup holders. 2-0 in that game. Sunderland 1-0 up at Hill Dickinson Stadium. There's a 2-0 lead for Leicester away at Cheltenham. They'd led for a long time comfortably in that game. They should be going through to the fourth round along with Wolves, who are 4-1 up, now 5-1 up. That goal just gone in against Shrewsbury. As Beto wins a header, fringes of the attacking third, can't find an Everton man. Hume forward over halfway to Lefay, went to play his pass towards Brobby, but coming back quickly was Garner, wins it back halfway inside the Everton half, and out to the right hand side of his defence for Patterson, who's going long here, looking for Beto, ran into a defender and then looked around plaintively at the referee, who wasn't interested in his battle with O'Nien. And Sunderland starting again in the intensity. Having gone up, it's starting to drop away again, Charlie Adam.
Yeah, no, this last 5 minutes are starting to sort of drip away. Everton looking to make a change here as well, so you know, maybe Armstrong for Asu, but yeah, the game's sort of flattened out a little bit now. They're going with Wolves. It's a good result for Wolves in terms. I know they're playing League 2 Shrewsbury, but Larsson getting a hat-trick and scoring goals and giving confidence. Like I say, that big win the other week will really get to keep them going, you know.
Well, that's what you need, isn't it? That's what the Cup can do to teams who are struggling in the Premier League.
Yeah.
It's not doing that for Everton at the moment. They do make a change, though, and Adam Ashnu comes on for his club debut. There was talk of a move away from him on loan, for him on loan in January. Often seen on the bench, but he's yet to force his way past Vitaly Mikolenko. He's a left back, and it's Merlin Röhrl who's gone off. And so two out-and-out left backs on the field for Everton now. They're looking for a goal from anybody. It will do, as the clock has just ticked past 86 minutes. Sunderland leading by Enzo Lefay's goal to 0. And the travelling faithful away on the far side of the ground in good numbers. So 7,000 tickets snapped up in a matter of hours for this one. A first trip for them. And they can sense a place in the draw, which will take place on Monday around the Liverpool-Barnsley game on TalkSport. Charlie Adam, you'll be there for that one. Lots more football to come.
Yeah, a lot. The FA Cup weekend, it's spread over a number of days and lots of games, so really good. Looking forward to it. Great game for Barnsley to go to Anfield, and you know, Conor Horahan's done a good job there, and you know, it'll be interesting the test that they get and what type of Liverpool team come out. on the night.
And in Liverpool, it is Everton who are still floundering. The ball with Asnu, his first touches as an Everton man, corner of the area to find Barry, sent further away from goal now. Everybody defending for Sunderland, the ball in from Asnu, it ricocheted up awkwardly. Clearance is a poor one though. Asnu battling, he's won it back. Everton fans love that, trying to turn, goes down in the penalty area. Penalty to Everton. What an introduction for Adam Asnu. And a yellow card has come out for Granit Xhaka, I think it was. Adam Asnu picks the ball up on the edge of the area, starts the move, doesn't give up on it, battles to win it back, goes down in a sea of bodies. All eyes were on the referee, and John Brooks has pointed to the spots. And on 88 minutes, Everton have a lifeline in this game at 1-0 down.
Yeah, it's brilliant from Asnu. He's there, he's alive, he won the ball. I think it's a bit harsh. I think it's soft. It's a soft penalty. Could see why Jacques is not too happy, but he's there, he's energetic, he goes and he wins the second ball and keeps it alive, and he's gave his chance, his team an opportunity to stay in the cup tie.
Well, it was Trey Hume with the challenge, the blow that sent Ashley down to ground. It was a little bit tame, you could say. Xhaka in there as well. But now attention is on the penalty. Everton with an opportunity here to get themselves back into this cup tie and force perhaps extra time. It's going to be James Garner to take it. Robin Roos in goal, arms above his head, all in orange, trying to make himself look as big as possible. Garner setting the ball right on the edge of the spot closest to the goal. Hill Dickinson Stadium awaits. Garner right-footed, scores. Just out of reach for Roos, who went the right way. Went low to the goalkeeper's left, and the Dutchman in goal couldn't get anything on it. And Everton, after a moment of perseverance from Adam Asnu, fresh off the bench to win the penalty, have got themselves back to parity inside the 90.
Yeah, it's a brilliant penalty for James Garner. He's been sort of the standout player for Everton this year, and have the composure to step up and take that. But again, it keeps this cup tie alive, and now the fans are up on their feet, asking for more. They want more from this team. And yeah, I didn't see that coming 5 minutes ago. But the longer you stay in a cup tie and don't finish it off, you know, the team always have a chance to score, and they've done that.
And we might be staying longer in this cup tie. Just 20 seconds of normal time remaining on Talksport 2. Everton 1, Sunderland 1. Everton having trailed for nearly an hour in this game. James Garner's penalty has got them back to equilibrium. And are we heading for the extra period, or can they get this done in normal time now? Because coming forward, Asnu again, and he's fouled again. Ballard that time, and a free kick to Everton 35 yards out. And Ballard goes into the book now. And what a conclusion to this game we're having.
Yeah, it's a foul. Asnu, he's done well there to win that second ball, and Ballard just hung a leg and he's caught the young lad. And yeah, opportunity for Everton now. Gardner now to put it in the box, put it in where it matters. Good delivery, get the big boys. Tarkowski, Barry, Beto going to attacking it. O'Brien.
Into 4 minutes of added time, 1-1 in this game. Crystal Palace have got one back late on at Macclesfield over on Talksport. The closing stages of normal time available on the main station. Here though, Everton pushing for a winner in added time. Garner with a free kick in towards the near post, headed away. Forward by Asnu again, into the penalty area, but not into the path of Barry as he was trying. He has kept it alive, he never stops running, that boy. Up by the corner flag he is, battling to try and keep it, an Everton ball. He loses out to Mukiele. And for the first time in what feels like an age, Sunderland have the ball and can momentarily catch their breath as Roos, after all that, goes to take a quick one, slips and plays it back to Everton over halfway. Patterson forward, this is Garner now. Everton fans think they can find a winner in the 90. And a poor ball forward though to Barry as he cedes possession, and now there might be a break on advantage played for Mundle. Over halfway as Patterson chases him and got a foot on the ball, wins it back well. The Sunderland man goes down, and it is going to be a free kick to the away side. And just for a moment there I thought it was going to be Everton's way, because Mundle went down, put his arm on the ball, which is a risk for anybody. Yellow card has come out, and Everton, having fought their way back into this game, have picked up their first booking, and it's gone to Tieno Barry. So 92 minutes gone, we're going to play at least until 94. Sunderland with a free kick. It will be a cruel blow for Everton now after all they did to fight to get back into the game. And Sunderland, who've led for most of it, sets up far side their left, a good 50 yards from goal. Xhaka to take it from the left flank towards the back post. And the header away by Barry sends it towards the corner flag, but out mercifully for Everton for a throw-in only.
Yeah, Mukiele here putting the two long throws he's put in the boxes. They've conceded and also caused some problems the last one, so see if Everton can defend this one better.
And so again, Mukiele at 1-1, 93rd minute of the game. Front post flick on, drops in the 18-yard box. Everton are there first with Garner. They're starting to win those second balls. Mukiele's cross, and it springs out for a corner. And so we're going to go into the final minute of the 4 added with an opportunity to win it from the corner kick for Sunderland after Garner's penalty after 89 minutes has got Everton back to level. And so we're all set as something like silence descends on most of the ground. There's noise from the Sunderland end down the other end of the pitch. Here comes the corner for Sunderland. Whips in towards the front post. Heads go up, a defensive one. Drops on the edge of the box for 09. Xhaka now wanting to whip it back in again. Corner of the box, left-footed, plays it towards the back post. Barry goes up for the header, misses it, but Patterson was behind him and clears towards halfway. Sunderland will still push, and Roofs comes across to take a throw, and he was going to. He's been told to get back in his goal now because we have 20 seconds of the 4 minutes added remaining. No one's in a hurry to take this throw in. It seems that Sunderland are resigned to their fate, and it might just have to be extra time to decide who goes through to the 4th round of the FA Cup on Talksport 2. Here is Hume, halfway inside his own half. One last chance maybe in normal time. Forward towards the outstretched limb of Mukiele, doesn't get there, and the referee calls time. Well, Sunderland thought they were there. They led until the 89th minute of the game. Adam Asnu, what an introduction on his Everton debut off the bench to win a penalty, and James Garner put it away. Extra time and penalties coming up next.
FA Cup Game Day on Talksport 2. Hawksby and Jacobs on your side every weekday afternoon from 1 on Talksport with Toolstation, delivering cutting-edge comment, a catalogue of riveting guests, and drilled-down dialogue to power up your lunchtime. Plus, breaking news, views, and loads of laughs. Don't miss the nation's favourite sporting lunch with the legendary Hawksby and Jacobs every weekday afternoon from 1 on Talksport with Toolstation. Next stop, Toolstation.
MyMotorworld.com. Flat battery, blown bulb, wipers past their best. Don't worry, you can fit it yourself at home with big brands and low prices starting from just £1.99 for wipers, $4.99 for bulbs, and batteries from just $39.99. Those life journeys don't need to cost the earth. Don't wait for a flat start. Power up, brighten up, clear up with MyMotorworld.com. Delivery from just £3.95.
MyMotorworld.com. Wrap up with great savings in the Vodafone winter sale. Get reliable full fibre broadband from only £24 per month. Hurry, this amazing deal ends the 28th of January. Plus, switching is easy with one-touch switch. So, go online or in-store today. Vodafone.
Was £26 per month on a 24-month contract, subject to credit check acceptance and availability. Terms at vodafone.co.uk/terms.
I remember holding her for the first time. Now, I'm about to walk her down the aisle.
Moments like these deserve to be seen clearly. With the Vision Express Eye Care Plan, get 2 pairs from £5.70 a month, including 20% off and an advanced eye test. Vision Express. Step out with confidence. T&Cs apply. Interest-free loan subject to status. VE is a credit broker, not a lender. Representing Adaro Optics Limited. Authorised by the Financial Conduct Authority. Minimum 24-month term.
They say, go big or go home. But now you can go big at home with the Big Arch on delivery. That's right, the Big Arch is back and it's here to stay. Big Arch for big McDonald's hunger. Order the McDonald's app. Served from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Service fee and small order fee may apply. Upcharges apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability. Price and participation may vary.
I see you lurking down there. I know why you're here. My mum said you'd come, eventually. That you'd pick on even my dad or my uncles. That's what you do to older guys, right? Then with black men, you target them twice as much. Well, it's not right and it's not fair, and we're not going to let you get away with that. Not for one more second.
Prostate cancer is the most common cancer in men. It's about time we stood together against it. Prostate Cancer UK.
It's the last chance to get yourself a ticket for tonight's Lotto draw.
It could be you.
Lotto from the National Lottery. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Apocalyptic football intelligence.
FA Cup Game Day
On Talksport 2.
Good afternoon, you're listening to FA Cup Game Day live here on Talksport 2, where at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, it's Everton 1, Sunderland 1. You could feel the frustration brewing from Everton fans, but a late penalty, who else would get it? James Garner has forced extra time, potentially penalties at Hill Dickinson Stadium. We're going to pick up where we left off with our commentary team of Cam Pope and Charlie Adam.
Well, we're back for another half an hour. We're not going anywhere. Everton crawling back into this game through James Garner's late penalty, won by Adam Asnew, who has instantly endeared himself to Everton's support. There's been one very big result in the FA Cup third round in the last minute or so, because City and Macclesfield have beaten the holders Crystal Palace, and that, Charlie Adam, is one of the all-time great FA Cup stories.
Yeah, it's special for John and Macclesfield, the owner taking over and how they built the club up. Robbie obviously doing a brilliant job in terms of building the football club and getting players. But these are the moments you dream of as a player, as a non-league Tier 6 player. Can you play against one of the Premier League clubs? That an opportunity, special day for Macclesfield.
Well, it's a moment that the supporters, the players, the town will never forget. The romance of the FA Cup, and for the right to go through to the fourth round with the likes of Macclesfield. It will be Everton and Sunderland setting up again for 30 minutes of extra time, and if not, penalties will decide who gets to go through. The 5-time winners hosting the 2-time winners, and there's nothing to separate them as we get set to go again. Everton are going to start us for this extra period, and it's Garner who plays it in an unorthodox manner all the way back to Jordan Pickford, launches it long again, deep into the Sunderland half of the field. Thrashed up by Siddiqui, over halfway, it's going to go for an Everton ball. Charlie, you'll have been in this situation many a time where in the case of Sunderland, you're dragged back into a game, you think you're there, you've got to play the extra half an hour. How much of it is a mental task as well as a physical one?
Yeah, it's both, but you have to reset, you have to go again. Manager has to keep you organised, and I think if I'm Sunderland, I don't think I have to change too much, because they were probably the better team over the whole 90 minutes. And they switched off. I think seeing it back and looking at it real time, I thought it was a soft penalty. But as an Everton supporter, you would take that and you get yourself back in. And now for David, he's got a lifeline. It's important now that they get that momentum, get this crowd back on the side and get them with them in this first period of extra time.
1-1 it is. Talksport 2 for this FA Cup commentary, and from 3 p.m. we'll do it all again for Newcastle versus Bournemouth with Adam Bridge and Mickey Gray. This one should take us right up until the start with extra time, as Sunderland set themselves for a throw-in far side their right, 25 yards from the corner flag, as we are preparing for, well, one of those afternoons that takes everything out of players. In it comes, long throw similar to the one that led to the goal. This one is defended better by Everton, out towards the edge of the penalty area. Beto it was who won it. He's fouled, and it will be a free kick.
Yeah, much better there from Everton with the organisation. Beto in front, and allows Jake O'Brien to go and head the ball. And it's an extra time that both teams probably didn't want, in terms of with injuries and stuff like that, but you're here and you're ready for it, and Everton now have an opportunity to get in the rest of these 30 minutes to get that winner, and Sunderland will be thinking the same. So hopefully this extra time doesn't just peter out and we end up at penalties. I hope there's a real good cup tie and both teams have a go at it.
Free kick has now gone the other way. Long ball for Everton. That free kick took an age to come, and then when it did come, it glanced off the head of Beto, and a foul on Luke O'Nien. So Sunderland coming through from defence once again. In fact, they're going to start to play out from the back and then go back to Robin Roos, who read the penalty right from James Garner at the end of normal time. Couldn't get a hand on it. It was a good penalty. It was took right in the corner. It's where you want them. And it might serve Everton well, having had a little practice, because that is where we're headed if it remains level. Cautionary tales of switching off in the final minutes of a game. Here's O'Nien, just inside Everton territory for Sunderland, at 1-1. Extra time on Talksport 2 as Xhaka plays his ball into Brobby, rolls off the tackle away from Asnu. And coming in from the right-hand side, Hume with the ball into the 18-yard box. Xhaka forward. This is Mundle now on his right boot, going for goal. And seen well and early by Jordan Pickford. Gets a double-fisted punch on it out towards the left-hand side for Sunderland. He'll start again with Mundle. 35 yards out, stopped by Beto, who wants it back, and now they'll get away. Two defenders covering him, and he's got a long way between him and his strike partner Barry. He's had to come out to the right-hand side, now in a wrestling match with Hume to win it, and loses out. It was an inevitability against three red and white shirts. Everton look threatening with having two up front. That change of shape has served them well.
Yeah, again, it gives you legs and good energy. I think Jimmy Garner could have helped him with the pass, but that's one thing you'll get from Beto. He'll chase, he'll get you up the pitch. He's terrific professional. He's a brilliant lad as well. You know, he works extremely hard on his own individual stuff and wants to improve. And by the way, knows he's not the finished article, but wants to get better. And that's what I love, just working with him. You've seen that, and he's got the rewards at the back end of last season with the goals, but not really happened from this year so far with the goals. But this is sort of the period where he starts to get his goals, and hopefully he can do that. But yeah, it's going to be a long 30 minutes for these Everton players, because a lot of these players have been playing week in, week out with a small squad.
Busy period. Garner giving the ball away and then winning it back, hence the roars as Everton come forward with Asnu. He goes down in the challenge. Referee was happy with the way Trey Hume won the ball back. And over halfway it comes to Lefay now for Sunderland at 1-1. Mundle running towards the penalty area, but his shot was straight down the middle, and an easy punch away for Pickford, who's seen a few of those shots come his way. They've racked up a decent shot count, Sunderland, but they've not really tested the Everton goalkeeper, their former man. And it's quantity at the moment, but not quality from Regis Lebris's side. 95 minutes gone. We're in extra time in the FA Cup on Talksport 2, and it is one apiece between Everton and Sunderland as Sirkin slips the ball between two Everton players to find Siddiqui, who then plays it right to the feet of Garner and takes his time to clear it. And there's the more than clear. It actually finds Barry over halfway, cutting in from the right-hand side. Got Beto ahead of him, plays a through ball. It's a little bit heavy though, and it's allowed Ballard to come across and close off the angle. Here's Asnu now, corner of the area, now into Armstrong. Teenager turning and bringing in McNeil. Still on the edge of that penalty area. Sunderland defending with numbers. Crossed in way too high for Tieno Barry. In fact, it's cleared the whole penalty area. And Mundle picks it up under scant pressure. Sunderland look to get back up the field. We've got the team news from the Newcastle game coming up after this with Adam Bridge.
For survivors from the terrific win against Leeds that was now biting in midweek, Chow, Tonali, Barnes and Voltemada, the only ones who survived. Ramsdale, Trippier, Livramento, Botman, Willock and Wissa all come into the starting 11 for Newcastle. As for Bournemouth, 6 changes there, with Smith, Diakite, Soler, Adley, Brooks and Unau all starting the game for Bournemouth. You're underway at 3 this afternoon.
Everton attacking here. Thank you very much. As then, the curling shot was whipped from the edge of the penalty area with some real venom on it by Jake O'Brien. And for a moment, it looked like it was dipping in for his first goal of the season, but couldn't bring it back on target. So that's Newcastle versus Bournemouth, 3 p.m. kickoff on Talksport 2 with Adam Bridge and Mickey Gray. And over on Talksport later on at 5:45, it's Tottenham versus Aston Villa in another All-Premier League affair. Charlton versus Chelsea is the 8 p.m. Talksport offering. Talksport listeners have already heard Macclesfield knock out Crystal Palace. Who will be knocked out in this one as Mundle comes forward for Sunderland? 1-1. 7 minutes into extra time. Is that it? It feels like we've been playing all night.
Yeah.
Out to the right-hand side it goes. Mukiele. Under a darkening sky on Merseyside. Hard to believe this was a midday kickoff. It's extremely overcast and gloomy. Fog rolling in down the Mersey. Not a metaphor though, Everton have managed to bring themselves back into this game. A lighter end to the second half of normal time. Mundell, 18-yard box, turns, right foot, squares it, and the shot is cannoned over for a corner. Has it? Yes, it has. Xhaka who took it, and McCullenco threw his body in the way, and the referee just conferring with the assistant to check. He's hurt himself.
Yeah, he's struggling with cramp actually, Mikalenko, so it looks like Everton could make a couple of subs here, and it looks like Eli Campbell coming on, who actually gave him his seniors debut for Fleetwood, so brilliant to see him get an opportunity here today. And yeah, he's a centre back but can play left back if needed.
And so changes afoot perhaps. For the moment, it's a change in the scoreline we're looking at. Sunderland with a corner, far side there right, in front of the away supporters. First man will head it away, that was Mikalenko. And those Everton players now going through a routine of stretches by the corner flag. Elijah Campbell among them, as you said, Charlie. Very youthful bench. David Moyes might have to call on them as first teamers tire. Another corner to have to deal with now for Everton. Xhaka has gone over to take it. Again, far side on the right. Everton 1, Sunderland 1 as we approach the 100th minute of this game.
Yeah, when you've got quality of Xhaka and the delivery, and you've got Ballard who wants to go and attack it, then it gives you a good chance.
Oh, it's flat, and Enzo Lefebvre flicking it on, only into a defensive wall though from the corner. O'Nien sending it back out to the right hand side. Xhaka battling, trying to keep it away from Asnu. He plays with a hunger, Adam Asnu. First game in Everton colours, and the home supporters are liking what they're seeing from the man who won the penalty to get them back into the game in the 89th minute. Here is Xhaka, still one apiece at Hill Dickinson Stadium on Talksport 2. Mundell with a shout of handball against him, referee waving it away, controlling the crossfield ball, now lining up across in the corner of the area. Back it goes to Xhaka, left for the ball into the penalty area, heads up from both sides in the 6-yard line, and it hit Beto and was gathered by Jordan Pickford. 1-1.
Yeah, no, it's good play. Xhaka again tried that delivery, and Lefebvre getting across the front, but looked like a few Everton players look like they're dead on the feet with cramp and that, and Patterson's been out for a while. Asnu's been out as well earlier in the season. He's been out with injury, so I know he's only come on, but it's how fit these boys are, and how much this team, who by the way have played a lot of games because the squad's so small, and it might take a toll on Everton more than it will the Sunderland boys.
Still without the likes of Kieran Dewsbury-Hall with his hamstring injury. Charlie Alcaraz has been out for the last few as well. Jared Branthwaite, Seamus Coleman. And they've also got Michael Keane and Jack Grealish missing through suspension. Here comes McNeil, using Barry, overlapping on the right-hand side, 20 yards from the corner flag. Pass breaks down when he tries to return it to McNeil. Sirkin clearing for Sunderland, over halfway. Remains at 1-1. Now tick past 100 minutes. Half-time and extra time will soon be upon us, as Pickford, son of Sunderland, or Washington to be most accurate, walks it out halfway into his own half. Left for the ball downfield, cruises over the head of Barry. Mundell picking it up for Sunderland. Now Xhaka into centre circle, running with it with no defence against him from Everton. Forward to Mundell, 35 yards out now, out onto the right hand side, crosses a deep one towards the back post, held up by Brobby, couldn't play it back into the path of a teammate though, and out they'll go again from the back line. Everton up to halfway with Armstrong. Didn't really have much in support though. He gets a round of applause from home supporters and from David Moyes there, Armstrong, and then takes a big gulp of air as he drops to his haunches, because he found just red and white shirts around him before he went backwards.
Yeah, it's really important now, when you win the ball, you keep it and you don't try and force it, and the game becomes a basketball. The game's so big, it's like a basketball game at the moment, and Everton need to keep control of the game. So again, Harris, Armstrong, Gardner getting on the ball.
Oh, Ashley's crossed towards the back post, and he hung it up deliciously in front of Tierno Barry, and he just couldn't stretch out a limb far enough to turn that one home there, the Frenchman. A good play again by Asnu. Moroccan whipping that one in, and it had the curl, but maybe just a little too quick ahead of the run, and Tierno Barry unable to stab that one home. 102 gone, still Everton 1, Sunderland 1.
Yeah, the two strikers actually didn't move quick enough or early enough across the front, but it was a wonderful ball cross there from Asnu, and looked like the game's becoming too big for a lot of the players with it. The energy is coming right out the game, and cramp is seen on 3 or 4 Everton players so far, so that's something that David and the staff will be looking at, and a lot of these younger players might be getting their opportunity quicker than they think.
Well, these two teams have only made 2 changes apiece so far. You can make up to 6 now with it going to extra time, but Everton with a very youthful bench, 6 debutants named by, or would-be debutants named by David Moyes. Here come his side over halfway. It's Barry with his yellow boots flashing as he runs up against O'Nien. Forward to Beto, shoots outside netting. Very tight on the angle for Beto there. And the 4th goal of the season might have been incoming. He tried to swerve it on his right boot. Bruce was stretching, he might have got there had it been on target, but in any event it was just behind the post as McCollincourt has gone down and halfway with cramp for Everton. We're going to see more and more of that. We saw him struggling early on, Charlie, out of an extra time, and at 1-1 with still 17 minutes of extra time to play, surely we're going to have to see some of the young guns, and in fact we are going to get an Everton change down below, and I think it is a man you know well indeed in Elijah Campbell, the 21-year-old defender, to make his Everton first team debut.
Yeah, but I took him on loan to Fleetwood. I've seen him play for Everton and had heard good reports, and again, young player coming on and getting the opportunity, so we gave him some game time, and he then went to Ross County on loan and come back, and he's been in and around it for this season, because obviously Jared Branthwaite's injury and stuff like that, and have been short defensively, so brilliant to see him and being able to sample him getting his opportunity at Everton. It's really, really, really good to see.
So on he comes. He's a centre-back by trade, with McCollincourt left-back going off. I wonder if Asnu might now go to that left side of defence.
Eli could play at left-back. He could do a left-back job, but prefers to play centre-back. But he'll be comfortable enough at left-back, and be up against Mukiele, and it'll be a good test for him.
We'll see how that pans out. 104 minutes gone. Everton 1, Sunderland 1. Extra time in the FA Cup. That's a new change to the programme. No replays anymore. This is the future of the FA Cup, and right now, progression on the line for these two. Lefay got the goal earlier in the game, whips in the cross, and Pickford came to collect it, and then collided with a teammate and landed in a bit of a crumpled heap. It was Nathan Patterson, who I think got his own back there, because it was Patterson who was flattened by his goalkeeper in the second half of normal time, and Pickford, who's not quite right. I think he's holding that wrist he is on the left hand, maybe just strapping the glove back up now.
Yeah, but he's
tough stuff though.
He's an unbelievable character. He's England's best goalkeeper and has been for a number of years.
Oh, here comes Mundell though, cutting in from the left flank, and England's best goalkeeper, as Charlie Adams says, not threatened, and he won't be threatened anymore in the first period of extra time, because that has been brought to a close. 15 minutes to go of extra time, and in the FA Cup third round at Hill Dickinson Stadium, it's Everton 1, Sunderland 1.
Brilliant stuff, Cameron. Yeah, another third round FA Cup tie going to extra time, and as you've heard from the boys on commentary, the cramps setting in, particularly for Everton. David Moyes forced to make some changes. Charlie, what do you make of this at such an early stage in the competition? It's so often that, I mean, look, great for Everton. James Garner, I think he's been their player of the season, and by hook and crook, he's got Everton, despite a pretty rigid performance, he's got them to extra time. But it seems to me that all the players out there, they don't want it, and what would you make of the extra time? Do you think it's sort of a step too far, particularly considering the sort of congested fixture schedule that Premier League teams have nowadays?
Well, I'm a traditioner and I want the replays. I want the small clubs to be able to go to the big stadiums and sample it and make some money and big finance. I know Exeter are at Man City today, but the games, if for instance today, obviously Macclesfield beat Crystal Palace, but if they got that draw and they've been able to go to Palace and make some extra money and generate that, I'm a big fan of that for the smaller clubs, getting that reward to be able to go and play against the big clubs. And I get the reward, I get the understanding from the big clubs where they're playing so many games, but we have to come to a compromise. The compromise is that we play extra time today and the game is done today. And ultimately that's how it should be. We're done and dusted today, and we go on to the next round after that.
And if I can just add, big clubs, I know it's hard for them with the period of games we just had in the Premier League and some of them in Europe too, but they've got big squads and they've got development squads.
Yeah. And again, I look at it and not to say, but the big clubs have got they should do. They have the best young talent, and then if they are getting that opportunity to play, get your young talent to play. Like today. Let's see how many of these young players at Man City get the opportunity to play in the FA Cup against Exeter at the Etihad. I'm not too sure there'll be as many as we think. So again, for me, it's about the big clubs. They want everything and they want that, but ultimately, if they've got the best young talent, these are the games, the opportunities that they feel they should be capable of. Everton over the years are in a tough position. They've had to sell their best young talent to keep the club afloat, basically. And you look at Sunderland's squad, they've got a strong squad for the Premier League. Everton don't, they've got injury suspensions, AFCON, so it's marrying out, but it's an opportunity, like say, for Eli. If Everton never had these injuries and suspensions and extra time and players coming down, he might have never have made his Everton debut. The kid's made his Everton debut, and he could always be proud of that, and the academy can be proud that they've got another graduate making a debut today. So the swings and roundabouts of everything. When they took away the replays, the extra time was ultimately the fairest one to get it done and dusted today.
Yeah, point well made. And I guess so the Macclesfield fans in Cheshire will be hoping, will be pleased the fact that they will manage to get through 2-1. It finished there, 117 places between them. This, the story of the weekend. But we're heading back to Hill Dickinson now. Can we avoid penalties, Campo?
Let's see, we've just started the second period of extra time. And, well, we all know what happens there. Thank you, Max. Set us up for the final quarter of an hour. Wilson Isidore is on for Sunderland. And interestingly, it's Brian Brobby who has gone off with a shake of the head as he sat down on the bench. He only came on in minute number 71. And already the sub has been subbed. So Wilson Isidore, who's missed the last couple with a knock, Sunderland's top scorer, is into the attack. And they have a free kick, Sunderland. Tight to the right touchline, just a couple of yards in from it. Lefay standing over it with Xhaka, who will now leave it the latter. And then it comes from Lefay on the right boot, flicked towards goal but harmlessly. And it was Nori Mukiele with the header, and Pickford gathering without problem. So 14 minutes, and then it will be penalties. We've already seen one Premier League side drop out of the FA Cup this season on penalties. That was Nottingham Forest last night against Wrexham. Wolves safely through 6-1. They won against Shrewsbury in the end. Leicester have also got a place in the fourth round after beating Cheltenham, and Macclesfield have dumped out the holders, Crystal Palace, by 2-1. Here's Beto for Everton, latching on to a long ball, far side, the home side's right, in by McNeil on the cross, Xhaka heading away. A few people still making their way back to their seats now at Hill Dickinson Stadium, stocking up on hot drinks on a wintry afternoon at Bramley Moor. As Everton come forward again with Garner, the man they have to thank for their equaliser from the penalty spot. That penalty late on in normal time won by Adam Asnew. Everton having to look to their bench. They've gone for the young Eli Campbell, and a bench populated by youngsters and teenagers and the like, and would-be debutants. Will that get them over the line? McNeil far side the right, crossing deep towards the back post. Head up from Asnew. Couldn't get a header on it properly though. He was up against Mukiele, and it's cleared towards halfway, where Elijah Campbell takes it out of the air. And back into Everton's own half it goes from Garner. And no time to switch off now, Charlie. Time to ignore the build of lactic acid in the muscles. He's in a few struggling. So close to the end though. And it'd be such a shame if it was a mistake that decided this game.
There's a bit of lactic acid walking up these stairs to this new stadium for me and you.
And that was my face when they told me there wasn't another floor to go up in the lift. I had to go up the stairs. Awful. It's like Sunderland's ground, isn't it? Here they come, Sunderland, down the other end. Mundo trying to play a through ball into Wilson Isidore. Couldn't bring him into play, though. And Everton cleared up towards halfway, where 09 goes down. And it's a free kick to Sunderland, 20 yards inside Everton territory.
But you look at the FA Cup today, the draws, Exeter going to Man City, the finances that's worth to Exeter, who have had a tough season financially and a bit of financial problems. That'll help them. Macclesfield, what tie they get in the fourth round, could be anything. Barnsley going to Anfield on Monday night, extra money that could get maybe Conor Horan a striker or an extra player in the January window. So that's what I try to say, is that for the small clubs, being able to play against the big clubs, it's massive. And let's say that the financial rewards is huge, and ultimately for Macclesfield now, what a tie they could end up with.
Foul here conceded by Mukiele, who is protesting, and the yellow card is out. It was Asnew that he sent down to ground. Asnew was favourite for the long bouncing ball that had made its way through the midfield, and it's the Sunderland man
He's come on
into the book.
He's caused a few problems, hasn't he, since he's come on, hasn't he?
He has. He's been a box of tricks.
Yeah, he's been everywhere buying fouls and obviously setting up for the penalty as well. So he's had a good introduction to his Everton career.
It's taken him a while to get set in the team. He had that absence that you alluded to earlier on in extra time, Charlie, and still trying to force his way past Vitaly Mikolenko. Some debut he's had, and he's going to receive this ball short from the free kick from Ghana. Now level with the edge of the Sunderland penalty area at 1-1 in the second half of extra time on Talksport 2. We'll have Newcastle versus Bournemouth following this game from 3 p.m. Here's Isidore, yet to get into this game since coming on at the break in extra time, and he's lost that to Ghana. And again, Asnu was involved. Central ball for Everton to McNeil. Now Beto trying to ride the challenge of Hume, who saw him coming. And Xhaka walks it towards halfway, and now Trey Hume getting forward, whipping one out to the left-hand side for Romain Mundle. And he's got Isidore waiting in the centre, trying to find him on the cross, and it took a defensive deflection off Patterson, and just enough on it to take it away from the Sunderland striker, and into the hands of Pickford, who will be gearing himself up for the possibility of a penalty shootout. We've seen TV pictures of his water bottle with the graphs ready, buried in the back of the Everton goal. And he's done his homework, and he might well be needed. Sunderland went out of the Carabao Cup in the second round on penalties against Huddersfield, and Everton have got a terrible record when it comes to taking spot kicks. Last one they won was 11 years ago against Norwich, and they'll be hoping it's not needed. There's a stoppage for a free kick to Everton in the heart of their defence. Heart of the Sunderland defence, I should say, because Tierno Barry has taken a bumpy landing from an aerial battle. And it's up to anybody now to be the hero. It's time for a main character to be designated.
Yeah, he's winded there. He went up for a ball with Barry there and rolled himself, and you know he's hurt himself. But yeah, again for Everton now, can they go and find that winner? Can they open up? Now Sunderland look like one or two players starting to feel a bit of fatigue. They look like it's changed shape again, back to their 4-4-2, and Isidore's at the top end of the pitch, so real quality player. So you know, see what Everton can do. Poor pass from Xhaka there, puts Onana under pressure.
He's swung it across his own defence there, Xhaka, and Onana had to run 20 yards back towards his corner flag to keep it alive, which he has, and he's found Sirkin over halfway, up towards Mundle now, and Lafay calling for it in the channel, barged into legally, said the referee, by Ghana, who clears at 1-1 in extra time over halfway. Beto trying to get away, and adjusts to a fouled 09 there as he looked to run clear of the Sunderland defender. There was a covering man in Sirkin behind him, so he wouldn't have been quite clean through on goal. But it is a free kick, and not one that's gone down well with Everton supporters. 8 minutes of extra time remaining on Talksport 2 as Everton and Sunderland vie for a spot in the fourth round of the FA Cup. It's taken short by Sunderland, who led after half an hour. A very good goal by Enzo Lafay, capitalising on poor Everton defending. Late penalty to rescue Everton in normal time, and the man who scored it, Ghana, clearing. As more and more players are starting to feel the effects of cramp. Now Nathan Patterson is the latest, and he's having to pull himself back up because he thought that Sunderland were going to take a quick throw in, and the referee has called time for the moment, as well, there's not much a physio can do here for cramp unless they've got it's pickle juice I think they use to treat cramp. He seems to be okay without it, though. It's not very nice.
He's struggling. It's he's had a few injuries this year, Pato, and again for him getting through 112 minutes, it's a lot of work, and you've not been playing, and so you know, be good for him, for his body to get used to that again. But you know, it's important that he doesn't do anything silly, and he's had a hamstring surgery earlier in the back end of last season as well, so it's he'll get off, and I think it'll be Reece Welsh that'll come on and play centre back. Maybe O'Brien will go over to that right back position.
Well, a cross in from Sunderland's Mukiele was straight at Pickford. Easy gather. 114 minutes we've played now, just about. Extra time flashing by with no further goals after it finished 1-1 in normal time. This one of 5 commentaries, live commentaries on the Talksport network on this FA Cup third round Saturday, as this long ball into the channel is played for Everton. Ghana and McNeil combining up by the corner flag, and there are men in dark blue shirts in the penalty area. Patterson receiving it far side the Everton right, crossing towards 09, who gets it away with his chest. Xhaka was caught flat-footed by his pass from Lefay, but Siddiqui managed to pick it up, and now the Sunderland captain can advance over halfway. Switzerland international whips one towards Mundle, wide on the left, back to Xhaka it is, trying to turn. Winner of 2 FA Cups, Granit Xhaka, his side are having to battle to get round to the 4th round of this one. Here is Mukiele, up towards the edge of the Everton penalty area, got support from Lefay as Barry comes in right under the nose of the assistant referee, made a big show of innocence with his hands above his head for the tackle. Referee said it was fine, and now he's up over halfway, and Trey Hume with a challenge. That's going to be a card here surely for Trey Hume. It's a yellow, and it was some run by Beto over halfway, or Tierno Barry over halfway I should say, and he was wiped out by the Northern Irishman. He knew exactly what he was doing there, and a yellow card.
Yeah, that's a professional foul. That's what you say when you delay the pitch. But he had to make that foul. Good run from Barry.
But as you were saying, Charlie, Reece Welch is going to be brought on, a regular on the Premier League bench this season. Played 2 Everton games at senior level. Made his debut in the FA Cup 4 years ago as Everton beat Boreham Wood in a 5th round game. And he replaces Nathan Patterson. And as you said, Charlie, for a man who's had injury problems in the last couple of seasons, a big long stint, but was starting to cramp up, and so Reece Welch, a defender, is on.
Yeah, again for Pato, so getting that minutes, but he's been through in terms of long-term injuries has not helped him.
All ball into the box is flicked safely into the hands of Roof. It was taken very quickly, that Everton free kick, and Roof's there to gather after Barry's flick on found nobody in Everton colours. Here's Mundle on halfway. 4 minutes of extra time remaining. And when you're a player in this situation, Charlie, you're thinking about penalties. Is it in the back of your mind?
No, I think you're looking to still try and win it if you can. I don't think you could be too silly and open the game up and you go chasing all the time. You have to be secure. But if there's an opportunity to try and play forward and we can get the goal, great. But don't lose it. Let's say if we get to penalties, then it becomes about who's got the real quality to take the penalty and want to stand up and be counted.
Here is Mundle, 1-1, deep in extra time between Everton and Sunderland. Back to Xhaka, 3.5 minutes remaining before added time and then penalties. In from Ballard it goes. Header was away by Asnu, and then it's gone for a goal kick, much to the consternation of the Sunderland fans across on the far side. They thought that it might have been a nick from Tarkowski on the way through, not to be, and a goal kick for Jordan Pickford, who needs help here tying his laces. So a short break and a chance for those out there, especially those who've been out there for nearly 2 hours now, to catch their breath. It's been a physical encounter. We've had 6 yellow cards. I was just counting them. 5 of them have gone for Sunderland. It's been physical. Yeah. Been a proper brutal, old-style FA Cup game in that respect, but without the old replay.
Yeah, no, it's there's been a few challenges in there, and Trey Hume, the last one there, but just making a foul. But I don't think it's been too dirty. There was obviously a couple of flash points, but it's been a decent enough game, but it's died a lot in terms of the fitness of the players, and the tempo's come right out the game, and let's say extra time and can take a lot out of you. Now it looks like your penalties is where it's going, and then it's about who's got the bottle on the day and who's got the nerve to step up and take one.
And a study in bottle and nerve might be coming. It's 2 minutes of this last period of extra time to be played at 1-1 between Everton and Sunderland on Talksport 2. Oh, Robin Roos has gone down as he's cleared that ball with pressure on him from Asnu. He's the last person you want to see injured at this stage in the game if you're a Sunderland fan. He's pulled himself up now though. His ball has got Sunderland down the field, up towards the other end with Lefay. Corner of the area, back to Xhaka, shapes the shoe, deflected and wide. And I think that Pickford might have got there, but then Tarkowski got himself in the way on the 6-yard line, and a horrible moment for the Everton fans inside Hill Dickinson Stadium. It ricochets off him, goes in exactly the opposite direction, evades the post and out for a corner, which is taken quickly at 1-1. Sunderland attacking, in it goes towards the back post from Trey Hume's boot. Header is up from Isidore, but behind, and it will be a dead ball and a big slap on the back of Jake O'Brien from his goalkeeper Jordan Pickford. 1-1.
Yeah, it was good play, good from Armstrong getting his body in there, but Everton just opened up for Xhaka perfectly, and he tried to bend it in that far right corner, and he should have probably just stuck his lace through it and tried to hit it with a bit of power, but Tarkowski got in the way. But it looks like penalties are where it's going, and the game is died. And I think what's killed it really is the cramp of too many players, and that extra time is taking its toll.
David Moyes with his stretched side, but they've got themselves back into this game and are pushing towards a conclusion now. 120th minute, Roos looks to be okay after pulling up a moment ago, and they might be needing him shortly. Sunderland and their goalkeeper. Here's Mukiele trying to get the job done first. The ball down the right flank is inaccurate in its movement towards Lefay, and Pickford clearing out along the ground towards O'Brien. 1-1 between Everton and Sunderland. No goals in the extra period so far. After a James Garner penalty, got Everton back to parity in dramatic circumstances. Now it's Barry trying to hustle with Ballard on the Sunderland goal line by the corner flag. Sunderland man comes away with it, and Mukiele over halfway. Now, can they build from this? Forward comes Wilson Isidore. Away fans roaring him all up towards the edge of the penalty area. Turns onto his left foot. There was an Everton man behind him, taking off his boot. Out to the corner flag it goes now. Big sliding challenge. Harrison Armstrong winning it back for the moment. And now here come Everton forward. Down the left-hand side. It was slammed down the pitch by Asnu. And then it hit Barry square in the back. And out for a throw-in in front of the technical areas. We've gone past 120 minutes now. This really is it in the FA Cup. Forward comes Sunderland. One last attack maybe with Siddiqui. Out to the left-hand side. Sirkin left-footed cross. Away by O'Brien. Back towards the touchline, and it will be a Sunderland throw if there's time to take it. Home fans calling for the whistle. Xhaka, ground ball towards Mundell, edge of the penalty area, shaping for a shot, but it was way over the bar. Cruising over at altitude, and there's no final whistle just yet. And a yellow card has gone to Jordan Pickford, who came and let loose a verbal tirade at John Brooks, and he's got no time for it, the referee. Pickford had covered a lot of ground there to let his feelings be known. And he gets a yellow card before what's likely to be his big moment as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, he just go back to Jordan. That said, he's England's best goalkeeper, but he's different from the other ones. But he's got a bit of madness in him. But that's what I love about him. He's got that in him, and that was when you run to the walls referee like that, you get a yellow card.
And that yellow card is the final act of extra time. A goal apiece in normal time, no addition in the extra half an hour. This FA Cup third round game on Talksport 2 is going to penalties.
King of football commentary. FA Cup Game Day on Talksport 2.
On your marks, get set, go hybrid. The new Toyota Aygo Cross Hybrid. More oomph than a Friday feeling. And smoother than your last online date. More confidence, more go. In a new hybrid engine. With 0% APR representative over 24 months. The new Toyota Aygo Cross Hybrid. Go on. Visit your local Toyota centre. Price from £21,595. Available on Toyota PCP when financed through Toyota Financial Services by 31st March 2026. Optional final payment indemnities may be required. See website, conditions apply.
On day 3 of leftovers for lunch, have a day off. Switch it up with a double cheeseburger for $2.49 on the McDonald's Saver menu.
Leftovers left the chat.
Talk about Saver satisfaction. Served from 11 a.m. Price and participation may vary. Fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability.
The moment they walk down the aisle, you want to see it all and feel ready. Our advanced eye test checks both your eyesight and eye health, so you feel confident in life's important moments. It includes a UV protection and dry eye assessment, plus an OCT scan for early detection of conditions like glaucoma. Book your advanced eye test today. Vision Express. Step out with confidence. T&Cs apply. Upgrade your free NHS PRSI medical card eye test for a nominal fee.
I see you lurking down there. I know why you're here. My mum said you'd come, eventually. That you'd pick on either my dad or my uncles. That's what you do to older guys, right? Then with black men, you target them twice as much. Well, it's not right and it's not fair. And we're not going to let you get away with that. Not for one more second.
Prostate cancer is the most common cancer in men. It's about time we stood together against it. Prostate Cancer UK.
Aldi can't save you from that 6 a.m. boot camp.
Drop and give me 50!
But they can save you a healthy amount on this Greek yogurt. High total Greek yogurt is $3.75 at Tesco, but Aldi's is just $1.99. Aldi, always finding ways to save.
When your deodorant has been reduced to a tiny whisper and tries to tell you, I'm running on empty, I don't have much left to give. No need to worry, your new deodorant is already on its way. Arriving today with Amazon Prime. Same-day delivery, it's on Prime. Geographic restrictions, cut-off times and T's and C's apply. Details on product page.
King of football commentary. FA Cup Game Day on Talksport 2.
Yeah, good afternoon. You're listening to FA Cup Game Day live here on Talksport 2, where penalties await Everton and Sunderland at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Enzo Lefay's sumptuous first strike looked to be the moment which would separate them, but James Garner's got his practice in his 89th minute penalty, forced extra time. Nothing separates them. A reminder, Newcastle and Bournemouth fans, we will be getting to your game, your third round clash at the conclusion of this. And just briefly a reminder, the big news of the day, Macclesfield FC beating FA Cup holders Crystal Palace in the third round. A historic day in the FA Cup. The romance, the magic. But enough of that. We're heading back to Hill Dickinson Stadium with former Liverpool and Blackpool midfielder Charlie Adam and Cameron Pope to bring us to the end of this one.
And it will be a penalty shootout. We've just found out they're going to be taken at the Everton end of the ground. A huge roar went up away to our right. They're playing that Everton anthem, Z-Cars again. And it's a powerful moment inside Hill Dickinson Stadium. Everton, lacklustre at times in the first 90 minutes, had that lifeline at the end of regulation time. And these two, they slugged it out into penalties. And now it's anybody's game, Charlie.
Yeah, it's anybody's game. It's who's got the control, who's got the quality to step up and be brave to stick it away. Hit the target, that's all you can ask. Hit the target and make sure that you're there. Don't try anything silly. And now it's down to the goalkeepers. Who's done the most work and who's read what they're going to go with.
Well, Robin Roos has had practice, only at picking the ball out of his net, admittedly, but he's faced one penalty already. That penalty from James Garner after 89 minutes of normal time. We all know about Jordan Pickford and his habit of saving penalties. Plenty of practice with England. Past 80 caps for the national side now. Everton, though, have an awful record on penalties. They've lost their last 5 shootouts, would you believe? And Sunderland having lost their only one this season, having played in the Carabao Cup against Huddersfield and been beaten by the third-tier side. Everton are going to take first as calm starts to descend again over Hill Dickinson Stadium. And we're all set away to our right. Penalties in the FA Cup third round. Everton first. Oh, and save from Garner. Roos got low and did what he couldn't do in normal time. On James Garner, the man who's taken a penalty already and who slotted that one away so collectedly. Well, he went to the opposite direction and Roos got himself down low and made the save, and it's the advantage to Sunderland after the first penalty.
Yeah, it was a good save from Roos. Garner hit it with good pace, but he changed his mind. He didn't go that side when he took it, so it's good save in the end. And now it's up to Pickford. Lefay now here to take one. Hopefully he doesn't try what he did the last time.
So Enzo Lefay, who missed that Panenka attempt on Wednesday at Brentford in the defeat, scored one in normal time, a good goal. Jordan Pickford bouncing up and down on his line. Everton fans waving the lights on their mobile phones behind the goal. It's Enzo Lefay to consolidate an early lead in the shootout for Sunderland. Steps up on the right foot and scores in the top corner. It's about as good a penalty as you will see. There was no doubt about it. Power and placement, that lethal combination. And Pickford, who read it right, couldn't get near it. Sunderland lead by a penalty to 0.
Yeah, lovely penalty for Lefay. Good whip, top corner, top left-hand corner, and good pace and power away from Pickford.
So next up, It is Everton's Tierno Barry. Roos with one save already. Can he do so again? If he does, it'll be a huge boost for Sunderland, who were pegged back into a game at the end of the 90 minutes. Tierno Barry, short stuttered run up and saved. Oh, it was an awful penalty. No power behind it. He stuttered his run up and it was a crawl towards the corner and an easy stop, a routine stop for Robin Roos. Had all the time in the world to get down to it. It's one of the worst penalties you'll see all season.
Yeah, I just don't understand players that do that technique, but everybody's totally different how they take penalties, and it just wasn't quick. It wasn't wide enough for the goalkeeper. Another great save from Roos, but there was no real power on it from Barry.
So Granit Xhaka, winner of 2 FA Cup finals, to give Sunderland a 2-0 lead in the shootout. On the left foot, Pickford set in goal. It's Xhaka, and he scores as well. Low to the goalkeeper's left, nestling in just behind the post, and already it's a huge chasm opening up in this penalty shootout. Everton yet to score. Sunderland have scored both, 2 penalties taken each, and this one could be over very, very quickly. As we welcome listeners from Talksport, who've heard plenty of drama in the FA Cup so far. And it's going to be Beto for Everton. Everton having missed their first 2 penalties. Sunderland have scored their first 2. It's not match point yet, but this really has to go in. A central and short run up. Beto saved again. 3 saves in a row for Robin Roos. And Sunderland are on the cusp now. Poor penalty after poor penalty. And Roos got down comfortably to it. And now, as Luke O'Nien steps forward for Sunderland, it looks like their spot in the 4th round of the FA Cup is all but assured. And they were made to work through it at times through extra time. Brought back into a contest at the end of 90 minutes after James Garner's late penalty cancelled out Enzo Lefebvre's first half goal. But now, in the shootout, we're at the shortest possible route to a resolution. 2 perfect penalties so far for Sunderland, taken by Lefebvre and Xhaka. Can O'Nien bring up the trio? Right-footed, stretches out his run-up. Pickford has to save this for Everton. It's O'Nien, and he's scored 3 out of 3. And Sunderland are into the hat for the 4th round of the FA Cup. Boos ring out from the home supporters, but it's going wild in the away end. Nearly 8,000 Sunderland fans on their feet, twirling their scarves. They did it the hard way in the end, they did it the long way, but Sunderland are heading through. And after a 1-1 draw in normal time and a goalless period of extra time, this one has finished in an unorthodox penalty shootout. The final score on penalties, Everton none, Sunderland 3.